good, kid?
Welcome to episode 5, the Extra Innings podcast with my co-host, Roland,
Yes, sir.
Kyrie,
Oh
Hope,
my God, this
the
guy.
84th.
Yo, I won't be around for that, but damn.
Welcome back.
It's good, kid. It's good, man.
We're back, and we're back with more baseball talk. I didn't even know what to name this episode because we got a lot to talk about today.
Yeah, it's a
But
lot.
how's the New York weather treating you before we even hop into this shit?
It's brick, bro. It's out of nowhere. It got really cold. I forgot what you call it. Like not you know how like usually we have like a nor'easter when like the weather changes for like a certain period of time.
Yeah.
But I don't know what it is, man. But during the whole entire Christmas break was nice, and then the minute that it hit New Year's, it's been like in the low
Yeah.
teens. It's been really
Yeah.
cold.
It's even down here in Florida. The entire U.S. got hit with a winter. I don't even
Yeah.
know what you would call it, but I mean, shit. Up until like 2 days ago, it was like 50, 40 down here, which for Florida is super cold. So, and don't be coming for me in the comments if you hear that. Like 40 in New York is a nice day when it's 17, but like when you're used to 80, 40 is really
Yeah,
cold. It's a
it
big
gets
drop
cold.
off.
That's a fact.
So stop these memes of people walking out in jackets in 50-degree weather. Yes, it's a big
Yeah,
drop off. It's how you get sick.
that's a fact. 40 degrees is a huge difference. Like Thursday's gonna be like 50, 55. It's been in the teens the whole last since the new year. Now it's about to be 55 on Thursday. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's gonna be nice. That's gonna be a nice little
Yeah.
increase for you guys. So, all right, let's get right into this first topic. There is no topic more pertinent and more relevant today than the Hall of Fame votes. We've got
Yeah.
Adrian Beltre, Todd Helton, and to my surprise, I don't know if you were surprised by it. I was surprised by it, but Joe Mauer got in. What are your thoughts on the Hall of Fame?
I think obviously Adrian Beltre deserves it. I grew up watching Adrian when he was on the Dodgers.
I mean, we grew up with all three of them.
Yeah, basically, yeah. 'Cause they all were like in their prime when we were like in high school and stuff. So we got to see like the really good parts of their career, especially Joe Mauer. Joe Mauer, I feel like he robbed not Joe Mauer. Sorry, that's Justin Morneau. But Joe Mauer almost got the batting title that year that Morneau got it too, and when Jeter was robbed. But
Yeah.
that's another story for another day. But Mauer, I think he deserved it. Honestly, I wasn't too surprised because he was arguably the best catcher, if not one of the best catchers of that generation. Besides Yadier and Molina, there's nobody that's can compare to Yadier. But besides Yadier, he was
Are you
right
talking
there.
about overall, or are you talking about defensively, offensively? What are we talking about?
I think off his offense was way better than his defense, but I feel like he was a really good catcher, man. But his bat was just phenomenal.
He did have a good bat.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking up his stats earlier. I didn't realize, dude, he had no power from behind the plate. He had
Yeah.
no power. He was just a high OBP, high BA guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, before the analytics really took over into the game.
Yeah, but he had, I mean, like I was really surprised. He had only one season in his career with 20 home runs or more. That was
Yeah,
wild.
but he was very consistent. He was very consistent until the injury started to come, and then they started to move him to first. They moved him to first base.
Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna pull up his stats again because I knew he was a high OBP, high BA guy, but like, man,
I mean,
I thought he was like a perennial 20 home run guy.
you're looking at from the catcher position, bro. You're looking at on average 150, 160 hits a year.
Yeah, but I mean, dude,
Hitting him.
he wasn't even knocking 10 home runs out a season. Like, look
Yeah,
at
I
this.
think because also, I mean,
He
also,
came up as a rookie in 04, right? In
yeah,
35 games, he hit 6 home runs. Then in 2005, the next season, he played 131 games, 96 more games, and he only hit 3 more home runs. He hit 9 home runs.
mm-hmm.
That's all. 35 games for 6, 131 for 9. Then his first All-Star year, 06, he hit 13, 7, 9. And then I'm not saying he was on steroids, but the man went from 9 home runs to 28 with a 365 BA.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes you run into him, man. Look at Salvador
Nah, you
Perez.
don't run into him like that
I
and then
mean,
never run into it again.
look at Salvador Perez. Salvador Perez is a perfect example. Out of nowhere, to do blast 48 home runs. Like, come on, bro. Every year,
Yeah, but he's always
15,
had
20,
power to him.
fluctuates.
It's not like that where it's like no home runs, no home runs, no home runs, 28, no home runs, no home runs. The next season he hit 9, right? We can look at Salvador Perez since you brought him up.
Great catcher, by the way, too. And that's another guy that could possibly get in, depending on what his numbers end up like.
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
He might
I
be
mean,
able to. He's still young. He's still only 33, so he's
yeah.
still got some time.
Already is a world champion, Gold Glove, I believe. Like, he's had a decent career.
Yeah. But power-wise, he's been very consistent over his career. Very consistent. Came up in 2011 and hit 3 home runs, then 11, 13, 17, 21, 22, 27, 27. Then he had Tommy John. Then he had 11 in the year after when he came back, but he only played 37 games and he hit 11 home runs. Damn, 11 and 37 is that was on pace for what he hit in 2021, which was 48.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, 23, and then last year 23.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he hit 23 last year in 140 games, and then 114 the year before that, and he hit 23. So, I mean, there's inconsistency, but over the course of his career, he's been rather consistent on the incline.
For the most part, yeah. You're looking at on average about 22 home runs a year. He's gonna have over 300 home runs as a catcher.
Yeah, I mean, if you take his 162 game average, it's 29 and 94. 29 home runs, 94 RBIs.
Those are some incredible numbers, especially while you're playing good defense behind the plate too.
Yeah, so
he's on pace to be a Hall of Famer too.
He could. It's going to hurt him a little bit being in Kansas City, but he does have
I think it helps.
I think it helps
because
he's got a championship.
He has a chip, back-to-back World Series appearances, and it helps his cause because he's never had consistent help in the lineup. So to put up numbers like that,
I wouldn't say that. He hasn't recently, but before his World Series, bro. Remember that lineup, bro? They were at their peak. Now, mind you, we had this conversation, I think, on the last episode that like a lot of the guys from that roster ended up being trashed because we were talking about how the Royals dismantled their World Series team after they won it. But then we were talking about how that was actually probably a good move in hindsight because if you look at their careers after that, they all kind of just dwindled away. Moustakas, Hosmer,
Moustakas had some
Escobar. I mean, all of them have turned into garbage since they've left. I mean, Moustakas is basically an off the bench bat at this point in his career. He's been ever since he went to Cincinnati. He's been off the bench guy.
Moustakas has had 2 or 3 solid seasons after. Because I know for a minute I wanted the Yankees to sign him, whether it was a 1 or 2 year deal. I wanted anybody over Brett Gardner, but that's no here or there. But Moustakas had a couple of solid seasons after. Alex Gordon was all right after as well for a little bit.
Let's see.
But it wasn't eye popping numbers, no. Oh, I think you froze.
My bad. Technical difficulties. I opened up Baseball Reference and my entire shit froze. So
Yeah, I was like, what?
I'll edit that part out.
All right. Yeah.
But the last thing I heard was that Moustakas had a couple good years, and then
Yeah.
that's where I froze out. But
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
he did have a couple good years. I won't lie, but I don't know. He's kind of a bum. But Moustakas kind of fell off. Hosmer fell off. Alcides Escobar fell off. Who else? Who else fell off? Who was on that roster? Who was their third baseman? Moustakas was their third baseman.
Yeah, and then they moved Gordon. They moved Alex Gordon to left field.
Yeah, Gordon was in left. Moustakas at the third.
Jermaine
Escobar
died.
at short. Second base wasn't Merrifield.
Mm-mm.
They traded for someone specifically for that run.
It was Ben Zobrist.
Zobrist, yeah. Zobrist was hot, and then he fell off after that.
Yeah, and then he went on to Chicago to win another World Series, and that was it. Yeah. The dude got 2 chips and was out.
Yeah, he definitely took advantage.
Yeah, he got back-to-back rings with 2 different teams. That's crazy.
And then they had Hosmer at first.
Yeah.
Salvi behind the plate. They had Lorenzo Cain in center.
Lorenzo Cain, yeah.
I don't remember who they had in the corners. Well, they had Alex Gordon in left. I don't know who they had in right.
Right. Damn, who do you have in right? Was it Dozier? Hunter Dozier? Hold on. I
have no clue.
No, it wasn't Dozier. I don't think he was there yet. I'll tell you now. Right field, Alex Rios.
Yeah, Rios. I forgot about him.
And Kendry Morales.
Yeah, Morales was the DH. I knew that. I forgot about Rios. I forgot about him.
Wow. I forgot he was on the team.
Morales or Rios?
No, Alex Rios, bro.
Yeah.
Remember, Rios was solid when he played with Toronto. He was a solid bat with Toronto.
Yeah, he was definitely an underrated bat.
Mm-hmm. Him, Vernon Wells.
There's a lot of Mets pages talking about don't worry about the offseason. No. What is it that they're saying? They're like, when you don't worry, guys. Tell your wife you're taking the night off from hanging with your girl. We're spending the whole night talking about obscure Mets players. And then it's just a whole thread of a bunch of obscure ass players. It's like Timo Perez, Mike Baxter, Scott Schoenweiss, Kirk Newton.
Throwback guys, man.
So, all right. So let's get back to it. So you think Beltre deserved to get in? I wouldn't disagree with you on that. He definitely deserved to get in.
Hands down. Just consistent, great glove, solid bat. Just, people have always said he's been a great teammate, good locker room guy. Yeah, Adrian Beltre. He was one of the guys that I enjoyed watching when he played with the Dodgers when I was middle school and high school.
Yeah, Beltre definitely deserved to get in, and his big
for sure.
Head. The only person in Major League history with a bigger head than Beltre was Kevin Mench.
Kevin Mench, yeah, size 8.
It's bigger than an 8, bro. I think it was a 9.5.
Oh, that's OD, bro. That's a large brain.
Mench
I think it was. If I'm not mistaken, he had an 8 size head, bro.
Not an 8 1/4, bro.
8. Wow, fucking Kevin Mench. That's a throwback, bro.
Yeah, that's wild.
Kevin Mench, man. Wow.
The biggest head. Yeah. All right. So Todd Helton, do you think he deserved to get in first ballot?
I give him it only because, once again, consistency, man. I guess, with today's modern game and the way that players, I feel like, are coddled and babied and spoiled with every other day with a day off and stuff like that. You have, especially us, growing up in the generation that we did, you have a new level of appreciation for the guys that played each and every day, man. Those guys like the Mowers that played 140, 150 games every year, man. You don't see that. That's not normal.
That's half of the Mets roster, though. Lindor is guaranteed 150 games a year.
Yeah, I mean those guys are the
those guys are 150 games a year.
And that kind of goes into what we were going to talk about later with the whole issue with this dude Rendon. Like I find it comical that you want 200, you're quick to ask for 200, 300 million, but you want a shortened season. But you won't give back the money. But yeah,
we'll get into
we'll
that.
Get to that.
We'll get into that. That's actually next on the list.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
All right. So the next one is Joe Mauer. I don't think he should. I think maybe at some point he should have got in. I don't think he should have been a first ballot, especially the way that the voters vote. Here's my issue, man. My issue with the Hall of Fame is that you got these fucking nerds that never played the game of baseball that are fucking in charge. They have fucking lock and key to who gets in and who doesn't. They're pieces of shit. And the worst part is that these guys can be influenced on whether you get in or not, whether you treated them right or not. Barry Bonds isn't in the Hall of Fame because of the steroid scandal. He's in because he treated the media like shit because they treated him like shit. They didn't like him. That's why he's not in the Hall of Fame. Because there's no excuse. Like, we could look at any era of baseball, and there's always been something that can be pointed to any era of baseball. And whether it's to the advantage of players or pitchers or cheating or scandals, whatever the case may be, and half of those guys are in the major leagues, like in the Hall of Fame. It's stupid. You know what I mean? How many times has MLB as a franchise, as a company, done shit on their end that is like
egregious or crazy,
dude? Like the live ball era. Like, I mean, shit. Even what they were doing with the Yankees. You're a Yankee fan. Live juiced balls for fucking home games at Yankee Stadium. They're the only stadium that was having that. That's fucking bullshit. That's the only reason why Judge hit all those fucking home runs, because they know that the Yankees are a fucking TV
marketing
spectacle. And you have Aaron Judge, who's one of the best power hitters in baseball. He's not the best, but he's one of the best power hitters in baseball, and on the most marketable team in the world. So you're juicing baseballs only for them at home games. It's comical. It's comical. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I wrote a whole paper on the steroid scandal and the George Mitchell report. Like, I just felt like it was messed up that baseball turned a blind eye to when these guys were making them a shit ton of money. And then when it comes time for the guys to get paid or to receive their flowers, and you turn a blind eye on them, and I don't like that, you know.
Yeah, they're being made out to be monsters,
villains.
The best. It was the best era of baseball ever. It doesn't matter what happens. I don't care about Yamamoto. I don't care about Mike Trout. I don't care about Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts. I don't care about any of these guys. Shohei Ohtani. No matter how good these guys are, they will never top baseball from that era. You'll never have home run races like McGuire, Sosa, Bonds,
Griffey. People forget that Griffey.
Do you know that Sammy Sosa has the most 60-run home run seasons in Major League history and never led the league in home runs?
That's insane. We're never going to see that again.
It's wild, bro.
And the crazy thing about it is, in the midst of those home run races, people, if you look back at those years, and he was doing it clean, Griffey, 50 home runs, 54 home runs, 50 something. Like, I'm like, this dude was hitting 50 bombs and nobody was even talking about it. Like, it's insane, man. When we'll probably never see something like that again. On top of playing Gold Glove D, like.
Yeah, Griffey's one of the most underappreciated superstars of all time.
And he still hit over 600.
He kind of did it to himself going to Cincinnati, though. But
yeah,
I mean, if he would have went anywhere else, he'd be spoken about much differently.
And even going to Chicago, like, looking back on it, I'm like, damn, dude, like, you left Seattle, which is I don't consider them a small market, even though they're considered small market in baseball terms.
Yeah, they shouldn't be.
They shouldn't be. I don't consider them a small market. But I always wish that Griffey would have ended up in at least like a Dodgers or another prominent team. I already know that the Yankees was never on his list for obvious reasons and reasons that he stated. But I just wish he always would have went to like a big market team or a well-loved franchise, Cubs, Cardinals, something like that.
Yeah, he would have been. I think he would have done well, and it pains me to say this because I'm a diehard Mets fan. It pains me to say it, but I think Atlanta would have been a good spot for him.
Yeah,
him in Atlanta, Andrew Jones coming up, like
Chipper,
bro, Chipper, it would have been a good market. He would have been playing alongside Maddox, Glavine, Smoltz.
Probably would have got a ring.
Reese's ass, John Rocker.
Damn, that's a good one. That's a really good one.
That would have been a good spot for him. He would have looked good in that blue and red too. But he chose Cincinnati, so such a weird fucking place to go to.
Like never really got to really be on the big stage that much. Like his really only true highlight is when they beat us in '95 when he slid home and
Yeah. And even if I can't believe Seattle's let the amount of superstars go the way that they have. Dude, they've had arguably two of probably the top 20 talents of all time that played together. Not even different.
That's insane. Looking at those teams,
their entire careers.
Griffey, Randy Johnson, A-Rod, and Edgar Martinez together. Jay Buhner was hitting a quiet 30 every year.
Yeah.
Tino Martinez before we got him. They let Tino go.
They let everyone go. The only team with a worse history of letting superstars go when everyone on Earth knew they were superstars is the Expos.
Yeah,
they're the only team that's worse.
That's a fact. Yeah, like damn man, seeing all those guys win championships elsewhere, like it's insane. Looking back on it,
yeah. Nuts, man. So all right, so you think Helton, Mauer, and Beltre should get in? I'm surprised that you agreed with all three of those. At least on the first ballot. Well, I don't think Mauer was first ballot, was he?
Mauer, I believe, was first ballot too.
So, all right, I got a bone to pick. Before we even go through the rest of the list, because I do want to talk about some of the guys that are on there and the votes they received. But, like, I hope by, like, some sort of luck, we just hit the algorithm on social media where this one clip, because I'm going to clip this out and post it everywhere. I hope it goes viral because I fucking need Rob Manfred to see this and let him know
you hate that guy,
I fucking hate him. Yeah. I can't fucking stand you. Seriously. If you have any little bit in your soul of caring about people who love baseball, you will step down and let someone take over baseball that actually cares. The NFL has a 8-foot 9-inch giant of a man that wears a gold fucking jacket. And when people make the Hall of Fame, he goes up to their fucking room when they're not expecting them, tells a beautiful fucking story about their career, and welcomes them into immortality into the NFL Hall of Fame. It's impossible to watch those videos and not want to fucking shed a tear. These people are having the culmination of their hard work of their entire lives, playing 15, 20, 22 years in the major leagues, dedicating fucking 250 days of their lives to baseball, 300 days of their lives, some of them 365 days of their lives away from their family.
Missing birthdays, holidays.
Everything to play this game. And you introduce them and let them know they're getting into the Hall of Fame with a phone call. Did you see the video of Todd Helton and Adrian Beltre getting? Bro, they called Adrian Beltre. He's with his family. He puts it on speakerphone. Helton's smart. He just put the phone up to his ear. But Beltre, you know Beltre. First he was like, I'm going to ignore the call. I'm going to send him a voicemail. And everyone's like, no, answer. So he answers, puts it on speakerphone. They're like, hi, can I speak to Adrian Beltre, please? He's like, this is Adrian. He's like, this is blah, blah, blah from the MLB Hall of Fame here in Cooperstown. Your second home. Congratulations. You've been elected to the Hall of Fame. And Beltre goes, thank you. He goes, you're welcome. Click. That's how you introduce the man to the Hall of Fame and let him know that he's just been immortalized? The MLB is failing at every fucking level. At every level. They're failing the players. They're failing the fans. They're failing the owners. They're failing everybody. The cities. They're failing the stadiums. They're failing TV. They're failing at social media. They're failing at everything. There is not one part of baseball that is thriving in any way, except for Ron Manfred filling his own pockets. And the small market teams fill in their own pockets because they don't invest into their teams.
You know, another way that they could have done that, man, to really reward that guy and everything that he's done for the teams that he's played for, especially the Rangers. Like, bro, you could have had him, like, when they go to do the Ring of Honor or something like that, surprise him, have everybody, like, tell the fans, like, everybody moment of silence, and then, like, on the board, like, one of his favorite teammates or some of his closest teammates, hey, Adrian, we have a message to give to you. We want to welcome you into the class of X, Y, and Z. Like, there's so many other ways that you could have twisted that and made it such a beautiful thing for him and his family, as
Bro,
opposed to a phone call like that, bro. I would have been like, wow, I gave 20 years to the game, and this is how you.
That's what I'm saying. It's a shitty ass way led by a shitty ass leader, and it's like you wonder why the game is
not cool.
dying. The game is dying because of shit like that. You can't even properly celebrate your players who made the game what it is.
Yeah.
You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. You got 20 plus people on the Hall of Fame ballot. Only 3 people made it. You're telling me you can't put the time and effort to go tell these people to their face that they're going into Cooperstown? You can't make that trip? It doesn't have to be Manfred doing it. Just fucking hire someone. I don't know who the fuck that guy is from the NFL that's
making the call.
I'm sure he's fucking probably a former NFL player. He might be a Hall of Famer himself. I have no idea who he is. Never seen him in my life except for those damn videos where he's introducing.
Yeah.
You can very easily go find someone to go do that job. It's done one time a year.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone recognizes the guy's face. He's wearing his big ass jacket and he's going and you're like, oh shit.
They already know what's
going
up.
Someone's going into the Hall of Fame, right? Caught fucking, who was it? I think they caught T.O. or something, or no, it was Randy Moss. They caught Randy Moss at a hotel. Like, he wasn't even expecting it. He was like in his fucking drawers. And he answered the door.
Zach Thomas broke down when he was with his wife and kids and his family. Like,
it's a beautiful moment. It's an important moment, and it should be celebrated, and it should be done with some honor and fucking respect for the players. And it's just not done that way. And it fucking pisses me off. Like, the more I talk about Rob Manfred, the more I fucking can't stand the man. I can't stand him, man. Can't stand him. That was such a shitty way to fucking introduce people in. But enough about that. Oh, go ahead. Sorry about that.
No, I was just saying that you got to, like, when I had, one of the things that stood out to me when I had my interview with Major League Baseball in 2019 was that a lot of the young people aren't in positions to make decisions. They're in the tech positions. Like, one of the positions that I applied for was statistician. And I noticed that a lot of the young people are, like, in the background. They're just doing, like, stats, or they're doing video, they're doing comm. And it's like, dude, like, there's so many other roles that you can have that they can have a significant impact and share that voice. Like, someone like you and I that have played baseball and love the game. Like, there's so many things that we can share. A lot of them I try to withhold because I don't want to share it without getting paid for it. But it's just like, man, we could do so many great things to enhance the game and enhance the next generation's interest in the game.
We're gonna be the anti-fucking Rob Manfred podcast. That's what I should rename it.
Look, I would love to work for MLB, so I don't want to badmouth him, but I'm just saying, look, man.
Listen, man, you could work
hire us
and work for MLB, or you could work for an MLB team and not like Rob Manfred. Fuck him. You think Scott Boras likes Rob Manfred? Come on.
Yeah, well.
You think the players like Rob Manfred? Nobody likes Rob Manfred. The only people that like Rob Manfred are fucking the owners.
Even
half of the owners don't like him either.
When you disrespect the trophy and call it a piece of metal and stuff, like, it's just so many things that he's done. It's just questionable. Like, man.
Yeah, the MLB commissioner should be just like the Hall of Fame. The Hall of Fame should be a commission made up of current Hall of Famers. It should be current Hall of Famers that are still alive, obviously, and then a combination of leaders from the MLB association, the MLBPA, and maybe some coaches or managers who have X amount of tenure in Major League Baseball, right? If you're a manager, maybe 10 years of management. If you're, an owner, 20 years of ownership, whatever the case may be, right? Where you've put your time in
Yeah,
have
you've earned
earned
you got your tenure.
You need to have tenure at some standard, but it has to be players and people who are actually in the game and appreciate the game. Baseball writers should have no business fucking controlling who's going in and out of the Hall of Fame. There's no reason why.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. They gotta change that.
Do you know if Andy Martino gets a vote?
That's a really good question. I don't think he does. I didn't see his name on the. I think the guys that usually vote are listed. I know you had some issues in the past with Andy Martino.
Don't get me started on Andy Martino. I'm asking for a reason because I can't fucking stand him.
I know.
I mean, first off, he's a excuse my language to anyone who is listening to this later and respects me, but Andy Martino is a twat. This might be the first thing he's ever said that makes sense. I'm a BBWAA member, but I don't support the idea of journalists voting for the Hall of Fame. It's a conflict of interest. And also think questions of who is a Hall of Famer is impossible to answer because there's no set standard.
Yeah, I'm looking at this.
I'm not eligible to vote yet, but once I have 10 years, I will not vote once I'm able to. To be honest, I don't think about the Hall of Fame much, and I don't really know who's on the 2012 ballot. So he's already eligible, so I don't think he's voting. But I agree with that. He agrees with it. He's a fucking journalist. I still don't like him, though. He's a piece of shit. That man said, what did he say? He said, Domingo Germán was going to be a much bigger pitching prospect than Jacob deGrom.
What?
That's what he said. And then when they asked who the what was another stupid thing that he said? That was completely fucking bonkers when he said that. And then another thing he said that was like out his ass was, they're like, who's the biggest superstar player in New York sports? He could have said Pete Alonso, Francisco Lindor, Aaron Judge, right? This man said Aaron Boone.
Yo.
The biggest superstar in New York sports, that's what he said. Who is the face of New York sports? And he said Aaron Boone.
Aaron Boone wasn't even the face of New York sports when he hit the home run to put us into the World Series. And
this was a question that was asked last year.
Wow. Yeah, man. Sometimes I don't know what these dudes be thinking, man. And just looking at this list, like the guys that barely got any votes, David Wright got 24 votes. I get it because of his injury history, but 24 is insane. Torrey Hunter only 28. A-Rod, I mean, I'm a little biased, but A-Rod only got 134 votes. Andy Pettitte only got 52.
K-Rod only got 7% of the votes. He's one of the greatest closers
of all time.
He's arguably a top 10 closer of all time.
World Series champion, rookie year. And the big stage performed.
And he had one of the greatest seasons of a closer in MLB history.
60-something. Like, I'm baffled. Omar Vizquel only got 68. It's hard to take this list serious, man. When you really, man, Andrew Jones, Carlos Beltran.
It's a nuts list. And the only closer, I'm still on K-Rod. The only closer who had a better season than him, he's done a 3. Where is it? Saves. Yeah, 62 saves. Oh my God. 62 saves, 2.24 ERA, 77 Ks.
When was that?
That was 08.
08, yep.
Bro, he had an 86 inning season in 03 as a reliever. That's basically every other game.
Yeah.
He's pitching.
Sheesh, bro. And lights out too. And he only got 7% of votes.
That's nuts. A career 2.86 ERA. 437 saves.
Like,
where does that rank him all time? He's got to
like I don't
be in
even.
top 5 MLB all-time saves leaders. He's got to be top 3. He's got to be top 3. It's got to be Hoffman,
It's
Mariano,
Hoffman.
and K-Rod.
It's
No, he's
but
number 4. He's number 4. It's Mariano, Hoffman, Lee Smith, and then K-Rod.
Okay.
And Franco's number 5.
Franco from the Mets.
Yeah, John Franco.
Yeah, John Franco. Yeah. Wow, man.
Like, how's the 4th best closer?
Like,
That's what happens when you let nerds who write fucking papers and talk shit about players all day when they're in control.
You gotta like. Even me as a fan, like obviously being a Yankee fan, but when you see a guy that's great and you've watched their career, you at the end of the day you respect greatness, man. When you because you know what it takes to be great, especially in baseball. When that's the only, it's the hardest sport arguably in the world. It's the only thing that in life that
I don't even think it's arguable. I think it's a very no. It is arguable. It is.
Yeah, it's arguable.
Golf's very tough.
Yeah,
too.
like it's the only thing in life where you can be when you could do it at 28%, 30% and be considered great. Like,
hold on. So the next person on the list that I'm looking at is Mark Burley. And most people would be like, Mark Burley, probably not.
I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence with Mark Burley.
Yeah, a lot of people would be. It makes sense, right?
Yeah.
4-time Gold Glove, 1, 2, 3, 4-time All-Star. One perfect game or 2?
I believe he has 1.
Okay, 1 perfect game.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you the one thing that I think makes him a surefire Hall of Famer. If I was able to vote, looking at this, what was his biggest strength as a pitcher? When you think
durability,
about Mark, what do you think about?
I think about his durability.
That ding 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 ding, right?
Yeah.
Durability. The man was fucking durable. Do you know how durable he was?
I mean, I know he pitched against us, so I know he was pretty durable. And he was lights out in that World Series run.
Outside of his rookie year, okay, which was in 2000, and he wasn't a starter at that point. He was a reliever his rookie year. So I'm gonna take out his rookie year. From 2004 to 2014. Let's go to 2015 when he retired his last season. So from age 22
when he retired?
Yeah, 2015 to age 36. So from age 22 to 36.
Wow.
15 seasons in a row. This man threw over 200 innings every single year. The only year that he did not throw 200 innings was his last year of his career. And he threw 198 innings and 2/3. He was 1 1/3 inning away from crossing 200. He threw 221 innings in 01, 239, 230, 245, 236, 204, 201, 218, 213, 210, 205, 202, 203, 202, and then 198 and 2/3.
Bro, I'm looking at these numbers and they're ridiculous.
You will never see anyone ever again throw innings like that outside of maybe like a Garrett Cole.
Mm-hmm.
Because durability and guys who go deep into games just doesn't exist anymore.
Well, I mean, I think analytics and overthinking the game has ruined that. And that's a lost art. And that's part of the reason why I gave the nod to Todd Helton. So if I'm moving to Helton, I got to give it to Burley. After seeing this sticks out like a sore thumb in comparison to today's game. Like the fact that he's arguably pitched 200 innings every year of his career, with the exception of his rookie year.
And
like that 198, bro. That 198, bro.
That's a 200. That's a 200.
That's a 200 year at 36 years old. You got guys that are 26, 24 not doing that.
Not throwing 120. Look at this dude, fucking Glasnow. He just got
he's got a buck 35. Got
135, and he's only his career high is 120 innings as a starter. Embarrassing. Do better, baseball. Do better.
This is not good, man. You got to incentivize.
And he's kept his walks low his entire career.
Yeah, he's been under 50 walks with the exception of 2 seasons. '08, and which was an All-Star year for him, I believe. No, could have been an All-Star, but he wasn't. Yeah, and 2013. And even his last year, at 36 years old, he went 15-8 with a 3.8 ERA.
200 wins, man.
And he only
his 2015 season was like the culmination of his entire career. His 2018 season, he had a 3.81 ERA, and his career ERA is a 3.81. That's consistency. What more do you want from a pitcher?
But check this out, bro. At 36 years old, he pitched 4 complete games, which is
his second
to his career high of 5 when he was 23.
Oh yeah. I see that. That 5 snuck in there.
Like that, man. That's what you respect, man. And that's what I mean about regardless of what fan of a team I am, I don't care. Like when you see numbers like that and you also have the eye test and you've seen what he did, like you have another level of respect. And I think sometimes baseball writers forget that. Like I'm removing the emotion and I'm just focusing solely on the body of work and how that player showed up and the level of appreciation and respect for the game. And that's what I'm voting for. And I don't care what team you played for.
And you throw in a perfect game. You throw in a World Series
ring. Yeah.
Come on now. Burley, Hall of Famer. He's got my vote.
And also, I mean, that's another argument as well. It's like, do you continue to allow 3 guys to go in when you got so many valuable guys, like valid participants, contestants? It's 3 nuts, guys man. Out of that entire list is insane. In most years, those guys are getting in with their eyes closed.
I mean, look, if I'm putting in a vote, Beltre gets in. If I'm doing my votes, right? Beltre gets in. Helton probably isn't a first ballot for me.
Yeah. But he gets in, but not first ballot.
Just not first ballot.
Mm-hmm.
Mauer probably gets in, not first ballot for me.
Mm-hmm.
Billy Wagner, he gets in for me. He's not first ballot. He's probably later in his career.
Mm-hmm.
But he changed the way closers close the game.
Mm-hmm.
I get Wagner in because I feel like that closer role, like he started that shift where it was him, Mariano, where they were like
neck and neck every
different. Year. You know what I mean? You had never seen a lefty throwing 102, 103 miles an hour.
Yeah.
He was the first real flamethrower you saw as a closer, you know? So I think Wagner gets in at some point. Probably doesn't get my vote on the first one. Sheffield doesn't get in. I don't know how he got 246 votes. I don't put Sheffield in. I don't. And this is the other part. I look at like everyone who's on this list, and when you compare them, I kind of put like you look at the guys who are surefire, right? This is how I look at it. You look at guys who are just elite baseball players who it's no question they should be in the Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
To me, on this list, Carlos Beltran, Alex Rodriguez, Manny Ramirez.
Mm-hmm. It's no question.
Those are the guys that set the tone. So I'm looking at it like this. When I look at a player on the offensive side, are they closer to those 3 guys as those surefire guys? Or are they closer to like, I don't know, right? Bobby Abreu, 57 votes for Bobby Abreu. Are you fucking kidding me? Bobby Abreu got more votes than Jimmy Rollins? Really?
And Rollins did way more and got a chip.
Bobby Abreu, man. How did he?
It's crazy.
Bobby Abreu was a good player.
But he didn't have the longevity that Jimmy had.
He's the obscure player that I would be.
Like, this is the definition. This is a definition of why exactly that these voters, it needs to change. It needs to change, man.
Abreu had longevity. He played from 96 to 2014.
Yeah.
So you're looking at an 18-year career.
Mm-hmm.
He had MVP votes for 7 times over 18 years. He had 2 All-Star appearances. 18 years, you got 2 All-Star appearances. What about that makes you a Hall of Famer?
You wasn't even the best of the best during that time.
He never had a top 10 MVP voting. He only has 2 All-Star appearances in 18 years, 1 Silver Slugger, 1 Gold Glove. So it's not like he was an elite defender.
Mhm.
Those 2 years were the only 2 years. The year that he won the Silver Slugger and the year he won the Gold Glove were the 2 years he made the All-Star team. 288 career home runs, which is good, but it's not a number that's like automatic entry into the Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
He had some speed. I mean, over 162 game average, he's averaging about 27 bags a year, so that's good by today's standards, not by standards in the 90s.
Yeah.
Let's see. Batting average, career 291 hitter. There's nothing that stands out. To me, there's nothing that tells me that he's a Hall of Famer.
Mm-hmm.
Especially not to be getting more votes than fucking Jimmy Rollins, Andy Pettitte,
200,
K-Rod.
Especially as a corner outfielder, 288 home runs in 18 years, bro.
That's what I'm saying. It's nothing impressive.
Nothing impressive.
He's just
that's an average of 19 and 91. That's that. I'm not impressed by that.
Yeah, it's not impressive. I mean, he's basically Jorge Soler.
Yeah. Yeah, like
he is.
Like the fact that he's even on the ballot is insane to me. Like he has one year where he hit 30 home runs, and that was 2004.
Yeah, I mean, so look at Jorge Soler. Jorge Soler has 1 All-Star vote, has 1 All-Star appearance. That's half of. He's 1 away from tying Bobby Abreu.
I don't know, man. It's just extreme inconsistency.
Yes. Hold on, I'm gonna pull up Jimmy Rollins' stats because Jimmy Rollins, I fucking hate him. He tortured us for years, but he's a Hall of Famer. He should. Maybe not. Let's see. All right. All-Star, MVP votes, Rookie of the Year, All-Star, MVP votes, All-Star, MVP votes, MVP votes. Won the MVP in 2007 with a Gold Glove and a Silver Slugger. Another Gold Glove, another Gold Glove, another Gold Glove. So that's 4 Gold Gloves and an MVP to his name. 2-time All-Star. Surprisingly, only a 2-time All-Star. 3-time All-Star. I take that back. I don't know where the third one is. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
No, 2-time All-Star.
No, 3-time.
3-time?
Yeah. All-Star in 2001, 2002, and 2005. Surprisingly, his MVP year, he wasn't an All-Star. How does that make sense?
Wait, who are you referring to again?
Jimmy Rollins.
Jimmy Rollins. Oh, okay, Jimmy. Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. He's solid defensively.
Always.
Also, a modicum of fucking consistency. 158 games, 154, 156, 154, 158, 158, 162, 137, 155, then 88, 142, 156, 160, 138, 144. And then his last season, he was off the bench guy, played 41 games. Let's see. How many hits do you have? Averaged 36 doubles a year, over 162 average.
Mm-hmm. Well, with 16 home runs and 67 RBIs. And the thing that sticks out to me, especially, and I mean that's why the guys from our generation will always be highly revered, is because of the fact that, batting average was important, getting on base was important, everything was important, right? You couldn't touch the field if you didn't do everything right. Whereas nowadays, you have speed and you got great defense, you're going to see the field. I feel like the standards to play the sport back then was much higher. And I say that to say this: his strikeouts. He has over 100 strikeouts in a 17-year career.
4
he
times.
Has over 100, 4 times, bro.
Yeah.
13 times out of 17 times he's hit.
Bro, Giancarlo Stanton plays 55 games a year and he has 180 fucking strikeouts.
Like, that's insane. His career average, he's striking out less than 100 times a year.
Yeah, it's nuts. I mean, even
over 600 plate appearances.
And he's a shortstop that isn't a demanding position for power and he had 231 jacks.
Yeah, he was just unfortunately in a time and an era where guys are just raking, man, at that position. And I think it's
470 career steals.
Averaging 30 plus bags stolen a year. Like, you can't beat that, man. It's solid. Great defense, solid bat. Yeah.
Wow, man. 800 walks, 500 doubles, 115 triples. That's nuts. 115 triples. Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Career OBP 324. That's okay. It's not elite, but it's very good. Bro, Rollins should be in. As much as I hate him, he should be in. Beltran, Andrew Jones, like these guys need to be. They should be first ballot. Like Andrew Jones should be first ballot Hall of Famer. There's no reason why he should not be first ballot. He's just one of those guys that like just gets forgotten about.
Mm-hmm.
Where's his baseball reference? Just completely forgotten about. 17 years, 430 home runs. Rookie of the Year votes, Gold Glove, All-Star MVP, Gold Glove, MVP votes, Gold Glove, Gold Glove, Gold Glove, Gold Glove, Gold Glove, Gold Glove. Bro, how many Gold Gloves does he have? 10-time Gold Glover, 5-time All-Star, MLB Player of the Year, Silver Slugger, greatest player to come out of Curacao. 400 home runs. Really, the only knock on him is that he didn't have very many stolen bases. I mean, 152 stolen bases.
Yeah, but bro, you can't be perfect.
Like, no, I know. Well, I'm saying like
even the 5-tool guys got one little thing that you can nitpick.
I know. Well, what I was gonna say is that he doesn't have as many stolen bases as I would have thought because obviously when you're a Gold Glove center fielder, you're expected to have some speed to be manning center field.
Mm-hmm.
And his batting average wasn't always the greatest. I mean, his career high was 303, and the next highest after that is 277. So he's always a below average BA guy. OBP 337 over his career, same as Jimmy Rollins. So, but dude, I mean, he had power, 51 home runs in 05, 41 in 06, 29, 36, 35, 34, 36, 26, 31, 26. Bro, you got a center fielder that's hitting for power and playing Gold Glove defense, and he's playing 150 games a year. Look at this: 153, 159, 162, 161, 161, 154, 156, 154, 160, 156, 154. Bro, from 97 to 07, a 10-year span, this man played damn near every game. And was elite with the glove. You're playing the most physically demanding position outside of catcher at an elite level.
With his eyes closed, hitting over 30 and 100 every year. Like, yo, like it's insane.
Yeah, he should be.
It's like that's the pure definition of consistency.
He should be in the Hall. He should have been a first rounder.
It's a joke, man. Either you change up who's voting, or you allow maybe 2 more guys to get into the Hall each year.
Yeah, Beltran, A-Rod, Manny, we don't even need to talk about them. I've had enough about this.
Bro. I mean, I could be here all day talking about A-Rod, bro. Like that's my guy, man. And I get it. People are gonna knock on him with the steroids, but for me, I look at it as: are you great without the steroids? Were you great without the steroids? And when I look at an A-Rod, I look at a Barry Bonds. It's an emphatic yes. And I think a lot of the reason why they took the steroids, or Barry Bonds has never been proven, but I think it was to save the game. And I think the league turned a blind eye on them when it came to them getting paid and getting taken care of. The league was like, oh, no, thank you. You put the seats, you put the butts in the seats, but we're good now. We're good.
And
I don't like that.
What's crazy is that, like, And this kind of shit has been going on in Major League Baseball forever. Like, not just the steroids, but like cheating, drugs, all that shit. You ever heard of greenies?
Yeah.
Bro, greenies are illegal. And these dudes, that's all they took in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Every single Major League player was on greenies. Like, the steroids, the live ball error, the fucking, I mean, there's so much shit, man. And it's like, and I hate A-Rod, but he should be first round. He should be first ballot. He should be unanimous. There should be 100% of the votes. I mean, like, what are we even arguing about? Love him or hate him. Like, he is one of the greatest players to ever play the game.
When you remove emotion, the reason why A-Rod's in it because he's top 5, arguably, shortstops of all time. And then because he became a Yankee, he had to move to third. He's top 5 third baseman all time, in my opinion. When you could be top 5 in 2 positions all time, that's like Kobe Bryant. He's a Hall of Famer with number 8 and 24. Like, that's insane. You don't. That's a unicorn right there. You know what I'm saying? And even with or without the steroids, he's a Hall of Famer. He would have had way more Gold Gloves had he stayed at short. He was a better shortstop than he was a third baseman.
Definitely better than Derek Jeter.
And I love Derek, and I can say that he honestly was better than Derek.
He should have been Derek should have been the DH.
Yeah, but George wasn't going to allow it. George, that was his man. He was not going to let nobody take over Jeter's spot.
If A-Rod didn't get suspended for a year and a half, he probably would have been the all-time home run.
Yeah, mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's nuts, man.
Yeah, man. To this day, man, it hurts me that they didn't let him get 700, bro.
Well, I mean, he deserved it. He did it to himself. It wasn't that he deserved it. He deserved it.
I feel a type of way about that, man.
I know you do, but here's my opinion on the situation, because I don't like A-Rod.
Yeah.
I actually like him now in a business sense.
As a business, yeah.
As an entrepreneur, I like him. As a baseball
incredible
player,
businessman.
But the reason why I think he deserved it wasn't because he did steroids. It was because he fucking lied about it. He lied really fucking multiple times.
Yeah.
Even when he got caught, he was still lying about it. And so that tells a lot about your character. So, and when you're already hated as much as he is, it was like, you're the scapegoat. He made himself that. You know what I mean? So I don't feel bad. It sucks to stop at 694, but at the same time, he definitely could have kept playing if he wanted to. He could have played a 42, 43.
Yeah, he just didn't want to. But he said it. He didn't want to put on another uniform.
Yeah, he said hitting 696 as a Yankee is better than hitting 700, in any other. But it's like, bro, you act like you hit all your home runs as a Yankee. Like, you spent half your career as not a Yankee. You could have fucking. He wanted to be a Met his whole fucking career. He could have signed with the Mets. They would have fucking signed him.
But bro, most of his career is as a Yankee. He spent
half of his career is as a Yankee.
No,
bro, he played 7 years. He played 7 years with Seattle, 3 years with Texas. That's 10 years, and he played 12 with the Yankees. That's basically half his career. Especially considering that a year and a half of those he was suspended. So he played half his career.
Yeah, what I'm saying is he spent most of his career with us. He's damn near 13 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Half of his entire career was with the Yankees, and the other half wasn't.
Regardless, the other half was split between 2 teams, not another team.
You make it seem like he was with Texas for a long time.
Yeah, he was with Texas for 3 years.
So whatever, it doesn't matter. Enough. We both agree he should be in the Hall.
Yeah, that's my guy.
All right, let's go on to the next topic. Now that we're angry, we're pissed off, we're in a good flow right now. Let's just keep it going. Anthony Rendon, right message, wrong messenger, or is he just plain wrong? What are your thoughts on it?
I think he's just plain wrong. I think he's out of his mind. I'm all for players getting paid. As someone that would love to represent athletes and work for Major League Baseball, I would advocate for players to get paid. Like you stated before, you're away from your family, you're missing holidays, you're missing monumental moments in your kid's life, especially when they're toddlers. Like, I feel like players deserve that, right? Aside from what they do on the field. If you perform on the field, then absolutely get your coins. But where I disagree with him is the fact that this game has been the way it's been for over 150 years, right? And the same way he was able to take that $240 million contract is the same way you're expected to go out there and perform. Now, it doesn't help that you're always hurt. You just whatever it is that he's doing, he's just not able to show up.
At this point, it's not even guaranteed that he's hurt. It just seems like he just doesn't want to play.
Just disinterested, and that's the part where like I struggle with, and maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I struggle with contracts being guaranteed, man. I know this sounds crazy, but because as a fan and as an owner, it's like for my job and for your job or your business, you're expected to show up and know that when you show up, that's when you get paid. But these athletes, like I'm looking at Ben Simmons earlier today in the Knicks game, and I'm like, dude, he hasn't played over 10 games in the last 2-3 years, but he's still expected to collect a check. You're collecting $40 million a year. Like no other profession in the world, you're able to do that. Like I would love to be able to go to my job 10% of the year and still get over 6 figures, but it doesn't work like that. The real world doesn't work like that. And I say that to say this, like you're taking away the love for the game. We grew up playing this game because we just loved it. The dollars and what came with it after that was just a cherry on the top. And to hear somebody say something like that, oh, I think the season's gonna be shortened, that's insane. Okay, so give back 20 or 30 million of your money then. You're not gonna do that.
Yeah. I mean, I agree to an extent. It depends on how you look at how baseball operates, right? Yes, the money's guaranteed, but a lot of these teams are a lot smarter than they used to be. So a lot of them have insurance clauses based on play time and injuries and things like that. Like someone like Wander Franco, right? Situation he's going through. That man is not going to get paid. He's not going to get paid his full contract if he gets fucking.
Well, that's an extreme. That's an extreme scenario where you got guys that get injured. They're getting paid. Like
yeah, but there's but you also
Jacoby Ellsbury. He robbed us 3 seasons and got over 50+ million.
Yeah, you guys didn't have clauses in for that though. There's some teams that build in clauses based on like major injuries where they're not. Well, I take that back. It's not a clause that's put into it. They have insurance that they pay extra for. Where if someone for an extended period of time, they recoup that money back. So it's like, yeah, the player is still getting their guaranteed money, but doesn't mean that the team's not necessarily not getting that money back in one form or another. So look, does Rendon deserve that money? I think coming off the season the career he was having with Washington, he deserved it.
Absolutely. At that moment in time.
But who would have knew he was such a piece of shit? Like, the dude's a piece of shit. Did you see him, like, I think there was a special needs dude who was, like, heckling him at a game and he tried to punch him?
Yeah.
Like, bro, why are you even on the field? You haven't played in 3 years. Why are you still even suiting up in the dugout?
Like, but that's what I'm saying. Priorities are out of whack. And that's what I'm saying. It's like, you have a dude like Ben Simmons, and I'm a huge advocate for mental health, getting therapy, and getting your mind right and doing things that's necessary to be in the best mental place as possible in order for you to be able to perform, especially at a high level in today's day and age, as athletes have a magnifying glass on them from all angles. But I see you with a $500,000 million chain on your neck, while your guys are out there fighting and busting their tail each and every day on the court, but you're chilling in the newest and latest fashion and all this other stuff, and you're collecting a check from the Nets, but you're not out on the court. You're not even trying to get out on the court, and you look perfectly fine. And it's just like, dude, like it's just disheartening, and it's frustrating because it's like, what precedents are you setting for the next generation that's coming in? And there's gonna be a certain level of entitlement that I just feel like it's just not fair.
I mean, the entitlement's already being built in, and it has nothing to do with these guys that are already at the league. When I'm looking at it, I'm looking at those NIL deals. Like, I caught so much flack because before the NIL became an actual like thing, I had always said college players should not be getting fucking paid money to play college sports.
I'm on the fence with that, only because I kind of went through it. Like, you know, when you and I were at Queensboro together, like one of the things that I think about to this day, obviously, you know, I didn't get to enjoy playing with you guys past fall ball, but it was either work or have my dad hold it over my head that he had to constantly give me money or whatever the case may be to pursue playing college ball and wanted to live out my dream of being able to play collegiately. but I had to choose to work instead to have money in my pocket to not have someone constantly hold it over my head that, oh, I'm giving you this, I'm giving you that. And I'm just an independent dude. So I had to go that route. And that's something that I have to live with for the rest of my life. Now, fast forward to other guys in this day and age that have children. Granted, that's their choice. They have children. They come from impoverished neighborhoods. They don't have it as good as I had it, or live in good neighborhoods. So it's like either they get to live out their dream and these are elite athletes and they get some bit of money, or they don't at all, and then they have to settle for a life of poverty or getting mediocre jobs just to take care of their family, and they miss out on their dream entirely.
But I feel like I feel like that's a flaw. I feel like that's a flawed argument, because if they're at the point where they're playing, because the only people that are getting paid are D1 athletes. Like D2 and D3 athletes ain't getting paid.
They're getting something.
No,
they're not getting what D1
no,
athletes. But rightfully so.
There's no NAIA players that are getting NIL deals. There's no D3 players getting NIL deals.
They're not bringing in the money that Bronny and these guys are bringing in. So you can't argue that.
Bronny's a D1 guy. He's not D3.
I agree.
D2.
I agree.
D1 guys. If you're playing D1 basketball, that means that you are athletically capable of potentially moving to the next level of professional sports, which is either overseas, NBA, G League, whatever it is. But I think that argument that you're trying to make is flawed, because in that situation, the only people who are going to take advantage of NIL money are people who are talented enough to get to the next level at some extent. And if you're playing at that level, you're getting your school paid for. If you're on a D1 team, 90% of those players are on scholarship. They're getting dorm and food paid for.
That's where I agree with you.
What life of poverty are you talking about? After school? By the time you're done with 4 years of college, you should have a degree and get a job like anyone else if you haven't moved on to the next level. So I disagree with that statement, because, dude, what you have now is like you have players who are there's the only positive I'll give this. The only positive that comes out of this is that these guys are to some extent incentivized to stay in college if they are getting NIL money. And they're being incentivized if they're assuming that they're making good money on NIL money, they're probably going to get paid more NIL than they are to go play
in the league.
Sports.
Yeah. In some cases, for some.
They're like a early draft pick getting a nice signing bonus. Aside from that, chances are probably making more NIL money. Look at girls in the college basketball girls, like
Angel Reese and those girls.
Right?
Yeah,
they're making way more money than they'll ever make in the WNBA. Granted, their careers are going to be over the second they leave college, because Angel Reese probably ain't going to play in the WNBA. Maybe she will.
No, she is. She's getting drafted this year. Okay,
so she's going to play, right?
Yeah.
I don't think she's that good. I've seen her play. I don't think she's that good. She's not a Caitlin Clark. She's definitely not a Paige Bucher. She's a good player. But, like, and once you get to the WNBA, you ain't making money anyways. Like, your career is over.
It's a short career shit
like that, right?
Yeah.
But so, like, in that situation, that makes sense, and that's good for them, right? But I disagree with the money, because I feel like it makes them not appreciate the work that goes in. Because a lot of these dudes who are, and I think Matt Barnes had spoke about this in the past on his podcast, where it's like, and I might be wrong, it might not be Matt Barnes, it was someone, but they said that there's a lot of players in the league that don't fucking like playing basketball, and they're there just to collect a check. They don't give a fuck about winning. They don't give a fuck about playing. They're off the bench. They're guys who are just there to collect a paycheck, and they're talented at basketball, but they don't really care about the game. They're not like a Kobe who's out there putting work in the gym. They're there to go collect a check, play basketball. They're play on the court. They're not going to spend extra time practicing. They're not working hard in the off season. And as soon as they have a weekend or a day off, they're partying and this and that. And it's like all those guys that are in the league are now in NIL already getting money. So they're not going to have any incentive to put even any work to even get to that next level. I feel like you're just giving too much money to people, to kids very early on. That, bro, how many people go to college? How many of these players get drafted, come into money, and have no idea what the fuck they're doing and spend all their money?
Yeah.
Large majority of them. You just have reckless ass kids. Now imagine college kids with money. how ignorant and stupid they're gonna act.
Yeah, cars and things that they're probably buying, all these other things. I mean,
I can't find
been
any defense for it.
and you make a lot of valid points, but I'm thinking about the athletes, especially from our generation and the generation prior to right before the introduction of NIL. Like I said, I use my own personal story, so that's where I feel for those athletes, especially the top athletes that are at the big universities. Where I agree with you. If you're at a you're at a USC, you're at a top tier university, and you're getting your education paid for, shit, you could be in a whole
Shout out to
200K.
Rutgers University.
Rutgers. You could be at a hole at one of those top tier prestigious schools, 250K, right? But when you're getting your education fully paid for, that's also a byproduct of what they're bringing to the school, right? If I'm getting a full ride, it's also because it's a tug and pull relationship. I'm getting a full ride for this 250K, but as a top tier athlete, I'm a Caleb Williams or I'm a Reggie Bush or whatever. I'm bringing eyes to your university. I'm bringing endorsements to your university.
Caleb Williams ain't bringing eyes to USC like that, bro. He's not that guy, bro.
Whatever.
I get what you're saying. But
right. I'm just using him as an
guy.
example. Those are people. There's a name that people might know right now. So just as an example, or even
Reggie Bush was a perfect example,
right? Yes. So prime example. The reason why he took the money that he took and why he got in trouble was because he wasn't making money at the school. Yes, granted, he was Reggie Bush, but he wasn't able to make money off his name and likeness. The school was able to sell number 5 jerseys and make a shit ton of money and then pay Pete Carroll $10 million a year, but let Reggie get an autograph from someone or charge them $10,000 just so he can have money to take care of himself or his family for a semester. Reggie's banned or Reggie has to give back his Heisman. That's not cool. But yet you got reports from the time span that Johnny Manziel walked into Texas A&M to the minute that he left, he made over $700 million for the university, damn near $1 billion. But the man can't make a couple of $1,000 off his name or sell things. Come on, bro. That's where I side with the players getting that NIL money. Where I side with you is I think it should be put into a fund to where the players don't get to touch it. You're too young. What do you need? $1 million, $2 million, $4 million in the case of Bronny and the Caleb Williams of the world. What do you need $4 million for at 18, 19, 20 when your only job is to hit the books, keep your body in shape, go to practice, and perform? Do I feel like they are entitled to some of that money? Absolutely. Because the eyes that Bronny's bringing to USC is substantially way more in earnings, more than the little $3-4 million he's getting. The only reason why it's significant to us is because that was unheard of when you and I were in college. Who knows how many great players out there in the world that didn't get to play college ball because of a similar situation like myself, where you had to decide to either get a job and take care of your family, especially for those men that had kids young, or you had to take a chance on playing a sport, or some guys that actually did play the sport and was like, fuck it, I'm going to play the ball, but they got hurt or they were just struggling. They was like, you know what, man, I got kids to feed. I can't play no more.
Yeah, but how many years, like, here's the other thing, right? So I'll go back to it. How many times have we heard stories like that of players who, like, they're struggling and blah, 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 and the school takes care of them under the table and takes care of their family under the table?
Yeah, but
happens a lot.
That does happen a lot. Too. But that is true. But those are usually only the top tier guys, bro. Like the John Walls of the UK.
That's not true. That's not true. All right.
Can
I give you a personal story? I played NAI ball, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not D1, not D2, not D3. I played NAI.
Mm-hmm.
When I left Missouri Baptist, I went to Brewton Parker College. I probably shouldn't even be telling it, but at the end of the day,
it is what it is.
It is what it is, right? I got full ride. Actually, let me take it a step back even further. When I went into the portal and I got my release from Missouri Baptist, I was able to go ahead and go sign with anyone for my senior year. The first school that reached out to me was in Tennessee. When he called me, I'm like, listen, I'm on full ride. You match what I got, I'm going to you, right? Union University. It was Union. They were a very good baseball team that season, and they were one of our rivals. We met them. We played them in the regionals the year prior. So they had already seen me, and they were like, we want you. Like, yo, you're available. We want to bring you over.
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm talking to the coach, he's like, I got you full scholarship. and then we can't give you money for food, books, and dorm. We can't give you that because of like how they operate or whatever the case was. All they could give me was just the tuition, paid like full scholarship. But he's like, I'm gonna come out of my own pocket. You just can't tell anyone, and I'm gonna cover your dorm, your food, and anything else you need. I'm gonna have it paid for.
I believe
That's
that was happening.
NAIA. That's NAIA.
Yeah.
That's happening on that level. So if you don't think it's happening on D2 and D1, like
Yeah.
if you think it's only the elite athletes at the top of the food chain, like it's not true. Bro, these
No.
schools are doing things under the table. Same thing with Bruton Parker. Like I didn't even play my senior year. I left halfway into the year to go sign with New York. Which shout out to you. You were there with me. Like
no,
I left my senior year to go sign with New York and play professionally. And with Bruton Parker, same thing. Like and that's where I ended up going for other reasons, but they did the same thing. They covered food, dorm, full scholarship, books, like stipends and everything. And they weren't supposed to give me all that, but they did.
No, I'm very confident that it happened, and probably like you said, at a higher level with the top D1 schools, the top tier schools. I mean, it happened at UM. With Nevin Shapiro during the early 2000s when UM was winning all those championships or playing for national championships. You know, that's part of the reason why they had the bowl game banned from like 04 to about like 08, I believe it was, because of players taking money under the rug. But this is my point. That never would have had to happen if UM was giving the players, hate to say it in this term, but their little peanuts or their little crumbs that they deserved in comparison to what UM makes off these student athletes. Like, I'm sorry. Like,
yeah, but
you go to the university from the time.
But the NIL isn't the school. The school is still making that same money regardless. It's not like they're paying the players. They're not paying the players. The players are getting paid from sponsors.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So
from using their name and
schools
likeness,
are still making that money. What the school does is, but here's the thing, man, it's give and take, right? You're bringing eyes to the school, but the school's also bringing eyes to you. Like
it's a 50-50 relationship.
It's not like USC was a nobody before Bronny got there. Like it's give and take. USC is also validating Bronny James. Bronny James is validated because his dad is LeBron James. If Bronny's not like the son of LeBron, let's be real. He's probably a nobody in the grand scheme of things, right? And I love Bronny James. The other part of it is like these schools are making all this money, but then that money goes and turns around and it turns into these beautiful arenas, these beautiful stadiums, these beautiful campuses that the players are being recruited to. It's going back into the team. It's going into these facilities.
Yes.
It's going into the marketing that helps these players alleviate to the next level. It's giving them the staff that helps get them on an elite level to get to the next stage. So
I was about to say that.
And that's how the schools keep growing, right? They're for-profit schools at the end of the day. So it's like you can't say Bronny James should be getting paid because he helped bring in an extra $100 million into the university. The university is going to get that money regardless. Get that money regardless whether Bronny's there or not. The only difference is Bronny now gets to be on a national stage in a USC uniform. USC gets to now also have an opportunity to go bring other players in. Right? There's a reason why Bronny went to USC. One, he lives out there, and two, it's a beautiful campus with storied history.
Yeah,
right. That's why.
And I mean,
it's a pipeline. Not making the money that it's making. That history at USC doesn't exist, and Bronny doesn't go to USC. So it's give and take. Like these schools also, it's a business at the end of the day. Like,
where I agree with you is I'm not a fan, and it's been happening like literally, like it's like cat and mouse. It's been ridiculous the past couple of weeks, and what I'm referring to is the transfer portal. Like me personally, I don't like that. Like for me, I grew up in a generation and watching players in the 90s and early 2000s as a kid, sticking it out and playing with these teams for 3-4 years, and that's where the fandom comes from, right? That's where your alliance comes from. You become a UM fan, you become a USC fan because you watched the Reggie Bushes play for 3 years, you watched the Ed Reeds play for 3-4 years, and you fall in love with that. Whereas now guys is playing a semester or two and then they're dipping to go to the next place that has greener pastures, and it's like, bro, like you made a commitment, like stick it out. You're already getting paid. Like I think they have to minimize the opportunities or the amount of times that guys can transfer. I think you should be able to transfer one and then maybe have one. I wouldn't. I don't know what the term would be, but one like severe transfer, or like it's in case of like a severe occurrence where like a coach that you committed to, he got fired or something happened, and you want to go somewhere else. Okay, that's where you get that clause. But other than that, just to transfer, I think is BS, man.
It is. And I think someone like Deion Sanders has proven why it's a broken system. Because now all you have to do is just bring in a big name person, and everyone's going to flock to that person.
Yeah, man. It's
unfair from a competitive advantage. But
yeah, man, it's corny. Like, granted, like don't get me wrong, I love the fact that Alabama is not winning championships every year.
No. The competitive. You know? I like when the level of competition is spread. 100%. Like I hate when it's the same fucking 2, 3, 4
like
every year and every
like 09 to like 2015, bro. It was brutal. Like, yeah, it was brutal in terms of college football, and they're finally doing it. I think next year, which they should have been done, which was adapt the NFL playoff format, because this college football format is trash. Like teams with one loss or whatever get to go to the championship. It's like there's plenty of teams where sometimes I watch college football and there's teams with 2 losses that would demolish teams that have no losses or 1 loss. So it's like, yo, let the best team win. Let the best team win. Get rid of these meaningless bowl games and put. What does the NFL have? The NFL has what? 12 playoff teams, right? Wild card, divisional, championship, Super Bowl. Do it just like that, the same format, and may the best team win, man. Because it's gonna be more interesting, and other teams and other fans are gonna have their eyes on these games. But that's another story for another day.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, to get back to the original question, fuck Anthony Rendon.
Yeah.
Because the dude doesn't like baseball and he doesn't fucking play as it is. So,
yeah, man, you can't. I'm sorry, bro. You can't be collecting over 200 million, 250 million, then bite the hand that feeds you, bro. Long story short, like, you're getting paid. Take better care of yourself. Get better sleep. I don't know. Get a better nutrition. You got 200.
The man plays 30 games a year. He's sleeping plenty fine.
Bro. It like, and I think that's why, like, you know, I respect LeBron James. I'm a Kobe guy. I'm a Jordan guy. But it's like, it's so easy to take for granted these guys' greatness, bro. And LeBron at 39 years old, man, I watched him the other day, and I'm just like, damn, man, he can easily be a guy. Yo, I'm a billionaire. I don't need to do this shit no more. I can cut corners, and he's still paying over $1 million, $2 million every year on his body with Mike Mancias, his personal trainer, plus Laker trainers.
Yeah,
chefs, all that. And I'm just saying that to say this to wrap it up.
That's an extreme case, though.
That's an extreme case, but it's like
$2 million is
when you're making over 200 M's, you still have the capability of, what I'm saying is, to have a personal trainer, to have a chef. And I'm not saying that he doesn't, but it's clearly there's something that Anthony's doing that he's just not doing it at that level. That's not allowing him to play on the field consistently.
He doesn't care. He doesn't care about baseball.
So don't comment on a game that we've loved our entire lives, and the generation before us has passed on to us, that made us fall in love with this game, and have the audacity to say, "Oh, the season should be shortened." I never heard you say the season should be shortened. I definitely don't want the season to be shortened. No. Like, it's bad enough. I think the offseason is dreadful. Like,
the offseason.
Like, you have more than enough time off. Report to camp come Valentine's Day and be ready to go, Anthony. How about that?
Yeah. He just doesn't. He does not give a shit about baseball. And it's funny because I spoke about that earlier. I don't know where I said it. It might have been Facebook or Instagram. But I literally said, like, I played professional baseball in a 100-game season, which is significantly shorter than a major league season. You know,
62 games less.
Yeah, 62 games less. And the dog days of professional baseball, they're rough. It's hot as fuck, especially depending on where you are, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, a lot of stadiums are domed and air conditioned and all those, so it's not as horrible. But, like, you're playing through different seasons throughout a season. Mm-hmm. You're playing in the fucking freezing cold in the beginning of the year, freezing cold at the end if you're in the playoffs, and then the summers are hot. And what people don't understand is, like, you're at the stadium the majority of the day. Like, especially, like, on lower levels. Maybe not at the major league level, but at the lower levels, when you're trying to work your way up the ranks, you might have a 7 p.m. game. Bro, we were having 7 p.m. games, and we had to be at the stadium at 10, 11 a.m.
Sheesh.
you're spending the whole day there. You're at the stadium at 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
And then if you're a pitcher, right, like me, I'm
Pre-work.
sitting in the sun unless I'm pitching that day as a starting pitcher. If you're a reliever, it doesn't matter. They don't give a shit about you. If you're a starting pitcher, you get to chill. If you're not a starting pitcher for the day, if you're not the one on the mound that day, you're in the outfield shagging fly balls for your offense. How many offensive players are out there shagging baseballs for themselves, taking BP? Nobody. You're catching fly balls for literally your entire starting lineup and fucking bench.
Mm-hmm.
You're out there from fucking 12 o'clock to like 3 o'clock in the sun every single day.
Pre-game workout.
Pre-game chasing baseball. For a bunch of people who don't give a shit, they're just launching baseballs everywhere, and you're fucking chasing them, throwing them into a bag, and it's like you're doing that every day in the summer, in the heat, just blazing out. And then when you're done, then you go back in, you get massaged up, showered up, dressed up, and then you got to go play a baseball game for 3 hours. You know what I mean? And you start a game at 7:10, 7 o'clock, ending at 9:30, 10 o'clock. And then depending on where your next game is, if you have a 3-game set at home, then cool, you're at that stadium again. But like, if we have a game at fucking Newark, I'll never forget this story, right? So we have one game in Newark. It's our last game of the series. The game's at 7, ends at 10. We have a 2-hour break. The game ends at 10. Now we have 2 hours we have to wait before we leave because we got to hop on the bus. So our grounds crew and like the entertainment staff, like we used to have like people that kept the crowd entertained, they all come out and they're playing a softball game on the field after our game because the field's not going to be used for another 5 days or whatever. So they're having fun. We go back in, get dressed, eat, shower, all that good stuff, get the bus packed up. Now we have like an hour to kill. It's 11 o'clock. We still have an hour until our bus leaves. We go watch them play softball, hang out with those guys because they were cool, all of them. We appreciate everything they did. And then you got to hop on a fucking bus to Quebec for fucking 13 hours in the middle of the night, sitting up. You can't. It's not even a sleeper again. You're sitting up for 12 hours
got the reclining
after just being on a field for 12 hours or 10 hours or whatever it is from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. So yeah, 12 hours. You're playing for 12 hours. You don't get to rest. Then you got to sit on a bus. And it's not like it's like a major league team I'm playing for. You're playing independent. So you're sitting next to someone and you're crammed up and you're like this for the next 12 hours. And it's raining halfway to fucking Quebec.
Miserable. Fucking miserable.
And then you get to wait, but here's the thing. You get to Quebec at like 8 a.m. or something. We leave at 12. We get there at like 8. We get to Quebec. We get to the hotel. The hotel doesn't have our rooms ready. So now we have to wait another 2 hours on the bus for them to get all our rooms ready. Now it's like 10 a.m. Guess what, guys? We got to be at the field in an hour. So now we rush to our rooms to go shower, pack our shit, and we're back on the bus heading to the field for another fucking 12-hour day.
Wow. Yeah, nah, man. Yeah.
Bro,
you're not dealing with that. You're not dealing with those same issues when you're in the league, man.
That's what I'm saying, and that was the point I wanted to make. The point I wanted to make is that even though it's fucking rough, it's fun, man. You're getting paid like shit. You're eating like shit. You're traveling like shit. Because we ain't flying nowhere. We're driving everywhere.
Yeah.
On our bus.
You're not flying first class, bro.
Yeah.
Private.
You know? And they're not even flying first class. They're flying in their own
charter. Yeah,
jets.
charter.
They charter their own jets. So it's like we're going through all this shit. And it's like, bro, I wish this season was longer. Not one time did I ever say, I wish this season ended now. It's like, yo, I wish there was more games. I wish we had more games to fucking play. Like, the life.
And now that you're mentioning the things that you mentioned, it just brought up another thing in my head, which benefited him from the season being as long as it did. If you know baseball and you remember this, the Nationals were terrible in 2019. Just like the 2021 Braves, they made a run in the second half of the year, ended up going to the World Series and winning the World Series. I think they're two of four teams that ever did that were in last place and ended up winning the World Series at All-Star break. So it's like for someone to have been a part of a team that did that and say something as asinine as he wishes the season was shorter, my man, you probably wouldn't have your World Series ring if your season was cut.
Yeah. But that's
what do I know?
That further proves what Papelbon said, that the dude just hates baseball. He doesn't respect the game. He doesn't like the game. He's one of these, one of the few douchebags who are just super, super talented and can get away with just being talented. He doesn't love the game. It's sad, man. It's so sad, especially for the amount of money he's making, but whatever. I mean, he's getting exposed for who he is. He's already hated as it is. I mean,
yeah, I think this is his last hurrah. I don't see another team giving him a contract after this one is up.
Absolutely not. I don't think he's going to want to. I mean, by the time this contract's up, he's going to be in his late 30s. He's going to retire.
Yeah. I forgot he's there for like 10 years. Yeah. 10 more years.
Hold on. Let's see his contract. Anthony Rendon.
Because he signed with them right after they won the World Series. I think it was 12 years, no? 12 years, 200 and something?
245.
Oh, so he's there till 2026.
Let's see.
Wow, 7 years, 245.
He's there till 2027. He'll be 37 when his contract's over. He's not playing again. He's going to retire. I mean, he should just retire now. He's still going to make his money. He doesn't want to play baseball. Nobody on the Angels wants him there. Like,
he's played 200 games, bro, in 4 seasons. About to be 5.
Yeah, he's making $38 million a year to do nothing.
He's making arguably $1 million a game to play for the Angels, bro. And you're saying that you want a shortened season. How about give them 120 games and then talk about shortening the season?
Yeah. He's a fucking piece of shit. All right, let's do one more topic because we're an hour and a half in. We had 3 more topics. Thank God we kept it at 5 because we're barely going to get through 3. But for the last topic tonight, lack of free agency movement. What ideas do you have to get free agency moving?
In terms of baseball?
Yeah. This was your topic.
Lack of free agency movement in baseball. Sorry. I don't know. I think you can incentivize. I don't know why it even has to be incentivized, to be quite honest with you, because with NFL and Major League Baseball, it seems like as soon as free agency hits, dudes are getting signed left and right. Boom, boom. Especially NBA. As soon as they hit 12/01, July 5th or whatever it is, bro, contracts is getting signed left and right. And that's goes to show you guys was working before the clock even struck 12 o'clock to get these deals done. So with baseball, man, I was going to say go the route of incentivizing it, but it shouldn't even be necessary. Honestly, they should shorten it. Make it very short and sweet. I'll give you about 2 weeks. Everybody has off right after the World Series. Enjoy time with your family, 2-3 weeks. All right, boom. Right after Thanksgiving break, let the conversations and negotiations begin. I think mid-January, around this time, second week of January, it should be cut off.
Yeah, but then what happens to the players who don't sign?
2 months, a month and a half is more than enough time to sign a player and get them ready for camp.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is there's always going to be guys who aren't signed. So what happens to them? Do they have to go overseas? Because really, that doesn't incentivize anyone but the owners. I mean, it doesn't incentivize anyone, actually, if you think about it.
I don't know. I don't know. I just think the offseason is so long, bro. It's November, December, January, February. They sometimes wait right until sometimes even after spring training.
Yeah, those are some players, but who does that? I don't know. I struggle with this too. I can't think of a clear way. I guess I haven't thought about it enough, but I haven't thought about a clear way where you can correct that, because a lot of teams don't know where they are in the process. I hate that teams wait for the big names to drop off before everyone else starts signing people, because what that does is that allows – it's stupid. Actually, if I was a GM, I'd be wanting to sign people immediately. I want to get my offseason done as early as possible.
I want to get the camaraderie built.
You want to set the – here's the thing, too. You also have agents who don't want that to happen. They want the big fish to go off the board first because they set the market for everyone else.
Makes sense.
And I think when you have two dickheads like Shohei Ohtani and Yoshinobu Yamamoto signing for $1 billion in fucking 39-year fucking contracts because it deferred 99% of their contracts, I think it sets a fucking horrible precedent for the rest of the offseason because you can't properly gauge who's left, especially in a it's also a very weird offseason because you do have very elite generational talents in Shohei and Yoshinobu, and then you have Shohei pulling that bullshit move of deferring 99% of his contract, and then the rest of the free agency, the rest of the available free agents are very weak overall. So it's like, how do you even properly gauge these people? And then you have dickheads like David Stearns, who just like they're the kings. If there was an off-season winner for showing interest and things like that, the New York Mets would be the winners because
honestly,
we don't sign anyone. But it's like, how do you gauge these guys?
Honestly, I don't think that's fair. Just to piggyback off what you said, if I'm quoting you right, you said that the rest of so you had two generational talents in Yamamoto and Ohtani, and then the rest of the talent is, granted, it's not what we're accustomed to or what we would call top tier talent, but
it's a weak class. I mean, we could go through some of the names.
I think it's a weak class according to what they're asking for. I think it's insane that Blake Snell thinks he's a $200 million player when you got guys like Mark Burley that was pushing 200 innings with their eyes closed and never eclipsed over $80 million on a contract. Granted, the game is making significantly more money, so that's an argument.
Yeah,
that we can go on for
that's not a valid.
Right. It's not a valid point.
But when Blake Snell is the best pitcher on the market who has actually pitched in the major leagues, of course, you're going to ask for the moon. Like, why wouldn't you? You're the best pitcher on the market. You're one of the only pitchers outside of Garrett Cole who's won a Cy Young in both leagues. You're coming off a Cy Young season, your best season to date. Why wouldn't you? And you're very clearly the best free agent pitcher on the market, not named Yoshinobu Yamamoto, and he hasn't pitched in the major leagues yet. Why wouldn't you ask for 200? Why not? What did Rodon get?
Rodon got 155.
And you think that Snell's not worth more than Rodon?
I said the Yankees get the deal done if they go to 180. I said that. They gave him 150. If they go to 180, I think he's a Yankee.
But what I'm saying is that you're saying
I just think 200 plus is insane when you've never eclipsed over 140 innings.
Yeah, but look at Rodon. He was the same way. He's had 2 good years his whole career.
Look, I didn't agree with him when we signed him either, but I would give him, and even though it's close to it, like I said, I would give him 180. But I think 200.
And we've also.
I get it. I totally understand. As an agent, I'm asking for this. I'm asking for the moon, and then I'll settle for the stars. All right. I'm gonna go a little bit lower, but I get it. It's business, typical business.
And you know me, I don't like Blake Snell either. There's a lot of guys.
This is a guy that I would want on the Yankees. I just, like I said, man, it's like it gets to a certain point where it's like, bro, like let's get it going. And honestly, it's just frustrating because then now it's preventing the other guys from getting signed. The Matt Chapmans of the world, the Cody Bellingers of the world, those other guys that are serviceable guys that can be key contributors to playoff team, a deep playoff team, just haven't been off the board yet. And it's like, what are we doing? We got 3 weeks left until guys report to spring training.
There's 150 plus guys still in free agency. Let's run through some of them real quick. So we could also we could see how many guys can fit needs of teams who actually need it. Let's do that. Let's run through the list real quick. We'll talk about some of the guys that could probably contribute to teams that need it. And we'll also obviously very quickly show how weak this fucking class is. So you look at the catchers: Kurt Casale, Yasmani Grandal, Manny Pena, Gary Sanchez, Mike Zunino. Very weak catchers.
Yeah.
Very weak. And they're all in their 30s. Gary Sanchez is the youngest at 31, Zunino 33, Pena 37, Yasmani at 35, Casale 35. Weak-ass class. Then we go to first baseman. Jared Walsh, Joey Votto, Donovan Solano, Dom Smith, Carlos Santana, Darren Ruff, Will Myers, Trey Mancini. Trey Mancini hasn't signed yet.
Trey Mancini's solid.
That's a solid. I don't think he's signed yet.
Wow. Mancini's 32.
Yeah, he's 32. Hosmer, Hoskins. So like, this is so annoying watching this because the Mets could use Mancini or Hoskins.
Yeah. And this is and this is what I'm saying. Like, and this is what's frustrating me because it's like a team like the Mets. Like, yeah, granted, you got rid of Verlander and you got rid of Scherzer. Let's say, for instance, if you guys wanted to just re-up and be like, you know what, fuck it, we're going for the juggler again. Let me get a Snell, a Matt Chapman, and a Cody Bellinger. You guys are a World Series contender.
I don't think we need all that. I don't think we need that. I don't think we need that. We have a lot.
I mean, you fill multiple holes. You get protection behind Pete, or in the middle of Pete.
I agree with your concept of where you're going with it, but I don't agree with the players that you named. Because
I'm just throwing out random names because I'm thinking of like what holes they could fill. Like Chapman could play third for you. Cody can play any of the outfield positions, and Snell would be a huge addition to your rotation.
I agree. I don't agree with, like I said, I don't agree with the players you named, but I do agree with the positions that you listed.
Yeah,
because here's the thing: the Mets, I think they're a lot better than what we show on paper, or what the perception of the Mets is. And I've been teeing off on the Mets all offseason, but the more I sit back and try to just think about it, like with a level head and not with my emotions, the team is not as bad as we think it is. Yes, there's going to be a lot of what ifs in a lot of places, but from a talent perspective, the core of our team from our 100+ win season is still there. That the season we won 100+ games, right? Two seasons ago.
2 years ago, yeah.
That was the year we were the favorite to win the World Series. That team is almost exactly the fucking same outside of our pitching. Our pitching has gotten significantly worse. But you look at our roster, our catcher 2 years ago was Tomas Nido.
And McCann, right?
And James McCann. We now have Francisco Alvarez. Massive upgrade.
Mm-hmm.
Pete Alonso is still Pete Alonso.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff McNeil is still Jeff McNeil at second. Mm-hmm. That hasn't changed at those two positions. So right now we've added at the catcher position. We're the same first baseman, same second baseman, same shortstop in Lindor. Mm-hmm. Our third baseman was Eduardo Escobar, who was horrendous that year. Mm-hmm. We got Brett Beatty, who's just as horrendous as Eduardo Escobar. So we haven't upgraded or downgraded. We still suck at the position.
That's what I'm saying. A guy like Chap would be good.
It would be an upgrade for us, but it's not any different than when we won 100+ games 2 seasons ago. Is the point I'm trying to make. And Ronnie Mauricio, granted, was supposed to be our third baseman, and he would have been a massive upgrade from Eduardo Escobar 2 years ago. Now you look at our outfield, Brandon Nimmo hasn't changed. Same outfield. Starlin Marte, he had a down year last year and was injured, but he's still our outfielder. So it's the same fucking outfield. The only difference is that
who's left?
Mark Canha, who left, and we replaced him with Harrison Bader. So it's really defensively, we've actually gotten better. And offensively, we've remained about the same. If anything, Nimmo has actually gotten better last year than he was the year that he signed his extension. So we haven't gotten worse when you take a step back and look at that team from an offensive and defensive perspective. We've actually gotten a little bit better. We've gotten better on the plate. We've gotten better defensively in the outfield. And our infield is almost entirely the same minus Brett Beatty, which is an upgrade or downgrade from Escobar 2 years ago. They both suck. And Beatty has significantly more upside than Escobar has.
Yeah, I guess in terms of your I think the reason why I made that statement in regards to the guys that you could have been going after this offseason, despite offloading, eating Scherzer and Verlander's contract, I still feel like you could have been competitive and slightly aggressive, with the guys that are available. Granted, I think you would be paying a little bit more for lesser talent in this free agent class, but Matt Chapman's a guy I would have liked to have on the Yankees. Solid bat, 25 and 80.
Here's the thing.
Gold Glove, caliber D.
Matt Chapman's a good player, but he doesn't fit into what we're doing. It wouldn't have made sense to sign Matt Chapman for us. The reason why I say that is, one, we have Ronnie Mauricio, who is he's a superstar talent. Is he going to continue that path? Who knows? He hasn't played enough games to make that determination. But the talent and the marketability is there for him. He checks all the boxes. Speed, power, switch hitter, good-looking dude, big chains, hits for power, fucking runs the bases, plays good D, has a good arm. He has the potential to be like a very fucking good player. Mm-hmm. It's a matter of if he actually gets back and gets to that point. We'll see. That's to be determined. Brett Beatty was our number one prospect for years. He had 1.5 bad seasons, not even 1.5. He had one bad season last year. There's still plenty of time for him to overcome that and develop.
Who knows?
And still, it's not like he was a guy who was a top prospect and just never performed. Mm-hmm. He did it all through the minors, and he's had 1 year. It's hard to judge him off of 1 year. And I'm not high on Brett Beatty. I wanted us to trade him 2 years ago when he was the number one prospect because I wasn't as high as him as everyone else was. But if he develops and proves me wrong, I'm fucking great. We have a former number one prospect, playing third base every day for us. Mm-hmm. A guy who turned into what the organization expected him to. Now, here's the other side. The reason why Matt Chapman doesn't make sense for us is because Chapman's probably going to command a 3 or 4 year deal.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Which isn't bad.
At 29, yeah.
But we don't need that because we have Jet Williams and Luis Angel Acuna both in AAA ready to make their way up to the big leagues.
About 2 years.
Well, Acuna is going to be up next year. He's starting in AAA, and they're already saying him and Drew Gilbert are going to be called up at some point next year.
This upcoming season.
Yes. This season that we're going into right now is the season that these guys are going to get called up so that they're ready for 2025 when we go back into the free agency market with big splashes. Okay. So this is the developmental year. This is what Scherzer was talking about when he said, I accepted the trade because they said this was a transition year. And this is the last year of his contract. So he's like, why the fuck am I going to waste a year? So he approved the trade to Texas. Acuna is going to be up. Jet Williams could possibly also be up. Both infielders. Acuna is probably going to move to second.
Jet plays third?
Well, Acuna is going to move is a second baseman, so he's going to be a second. Jeff McNeil, who is super utility man, can play a very good third base. Mm. So we have what we need there. And if Jet Williams comes up and he moves to second base, or Acuna moves to third base, whichever position they end up at, right? It's all in.
It's going to get filled.
These guys are talented enough to make those moves. It probably makes more sense for Acuna because he's a little bit taller. They're both short as shit, but because Jet Williams 5'6".
Yeah, Acuna's 5'8", bro.
That's what I'm saying. He's a little bit bigger. They're both short as shit. But I mean, you probably don't want a 5'6" guy at third base. You probably want a 5'8" guy if that's your two options. Yeah. Or you could have your 6'4" Ronnie Mauricio. But the point that I'm making is that if Acuna comes up and Jet Williams both make it up this year, then guess what? You can throw fucking Jeff McNeil in left field or right field because he plays both corner outfields at an above average defense. And then you can put Starlin Marte and save his legs and put him at DH because we don't have a fucking DH. The move that we do need to make this year is we need to sign a DH. I think we need to. Obviously, in the situation I just laid out, someone has to get pushed off into the bench. If we do sign a DH, I would like to see Jorge Soler because he's a guy who could be our DH for the next 4 years. He's going to hit us 30+ home runs out of that DH spot.
That would be smart to. And you guys are linked to him.
And if you plug Soler, Alonso, and Lindor, you're looking
Put
at
Lindor in the middle of both of them.
I'd rather you have Lindor 3, Alonso 4, Soler 5. You have a 30, 40, 40 home run guys back to back to back.
You would do that lefty, righty.
So that's the move to make because he's still young enough and he's still strong enough that his bat's it's gonna be there. You know what I mean? We keep getting linked to Justin Turner. I don't know why we keep getting linked to Justin Turner.
Like, bro, that ship has already sailed.
That ship sailed a long time ago. I don't want to see him back at all. He was toxic when he was here the first time. That's why we traded him in the first place, because he was lazy. He was toxic. Like, don't bring that shit back.
He's changed a lot, but I just think it's yeah.
Yeah, so that ship sailed, and he doesn't fit into the plans. The only way that he fits into the plans is if they're actually trying to compete this year, which if a few things go right, we could compete. But even at that, we still have no depth in our bullpen. None at all. Our best reliever outside of Edwin Diaz is Jorge Lopez, who had like a 5 ERA last year.
Damn. Yeah, you guys got some work to do, bro.
We have no bullpen. So that's where we need to put some work into. And then you look at our rotation, and it's like Adrian Hauser's a 5-starter. Kodai Senga's, he's super solid. I'm not worried about him, but he's not an ace. He's not a guy who should be anchoring a rotation.
Yeah.
You look at our 2 spot, our number 2 starter is Jose Quintana. Quietly a very good, dependable,
at the back end though,
consistent guy. He should be a number 5, not a number 2. But he's solid. He's a solid arm. But he's our number 2, man. He should be our number 4 or 5. Luis Severino, talented, played on the big stage, already good with the market. The question is, does he get his slider back? If he gets his slider back, then he's probably going to be good. If he doesn't get it back, he's fucking sucks. So it's like we're just rolling.
Low risk, high reward with Sevy. But like I said, man, and seeing Sevy the last 7 years plus, he just can't stay healthy, bro. Now when he's on, he's on. But I haven't seen him on since 2018, bro. So that you're looking at what, 5 years since I've last seen him on. So
yeah. So, but that's the point I'm making. We have a lot of there's a lot of question marks. There's a lot of what ifs, and a lot of people that need to go right. We have to hope Starlin Marte comes back healthy, stays healthy, and produces. It's a lot to ask out of him. You have to hope Harrison Bader can play a whole season. Even if he doesn't hit, we don't need him to. We just need him to play great defense in the outfield because it's something that we lacked. And that's something that David Stearns really puts a lot of value into, defense first, which is why he's made the signings he's made. Why he went out and got Joey Wendell for base, got Harrison Bader for center, pushing Nimmo back to left field where he was a lot better than he is in center field. Bro, I pulled up this stat. I mean, how many teams are in there?
You said what?
How many teams are in Major League Baseball?
30, 31, 32?
31, 32.
30, yeah.
Okay. Do you know what rank Brandon Nimmo ranked in DRS last year for center fielders?
30 teams, sorry.
Okay, 30 teams. Out of everyone who logged innings in center field, do you know what number he ranked Brandon Nimmo in DRS?
Stearns ranked him, or he was ranked in general?
No, in general, across baseball. His DRS ranking.
Was he in top 5? Was he top 5?
In DRS rankings?
Yeah.
No.
Where was he ranked?
Take a guess.
I'm assuming it's poor since you guys went ahead and signed Bader.
4.
Bottom 5?
I'm going to tell you right now the exact number. I just have to pull the position up. $167 out of 174 players who logged innings at center field.
Damn, dude. So that's literally bottom 5.
No, he's bottom 10.
Bottom 10.
167 out of 174. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. The only people who ranked lower on DRS was Riley Green, JJ Bleday, Jazz Chisholm, Matos, Victor Roland, Jack Sawinski, and Esteury Ruiz.
Jack barely played. Jazz is not even a center fielder. I don't know why the hell Miami did that.
He played years in he logged innings in center field.
No, he did. No. I'm saying he traditionally is a second baseman, bro.
Yeah.
Like I just to this day I don't agree with that move. That just they screwed him over with that. But that's another conversation.
Yeah, he logged 775 innings in center last year.
Bro, just put him back at second, bro. He's way better as a second baseman. And speaking of that, they're thinking about trading Luis Arias. I'm just like, bro, he just won a fucking batting title.
That's why you trade him. Bro, Miami's not going to compete. Let's be real. You might as well get back as many
bro, just spend.
They're not going to pay people.
Spend the money, bro.
They're not going to. They got the stadium. They got their money. They make their money on all these other tournaments. Major League Baseball ain't where they're going to invest.
It's crazy now that I'm thinking about it, the WBC is coming back in 2 years, bro.
Yeah.
They're going to get it. They're probably going to get every round again. So they're going to make a ton of money off that. Damn, I got to start getting ready for the WBC again. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, man. I don't know. Like that's something that I still got to think thoroughly about. But the lack of free agency movement, man, is very frustrating. It's just not cool, man. Like I just wish that more teams had everything situated and ready to go, so that you can speak on the season with more certainty and know where you can place teams, where the rankings you feel that they're going to be at in the AL East, the NL East, et cetera, et cetera. But with so many guys still not off the board, it's like, yo, you don't know what's going to happen.
It's wild, man. Baseball is such a crazy sport, man, when you think about it. I was thinking about bro, one of the craziest players, is so random because I'm looking at the free agency list. One of the craziest players that you would never guess has put up what he's put up. Elvis Andrews. Bro, Elvis Andrews.
Solid.
No one talks about him. If anything, he gets talked about as like a shitty player now. Like early in his career, everyone was super high on him because he had a bunch of stolen bases. He was getting 30 plus bags a year.
Yeah, I mean, they also went to back-to-back World Series. He was a young piece. There was a lot of expectation of him, which he didn't fulfill. But he had a lot of early career success, bro. All-Star game, second year in the league. All-Star game by his 5th year. I mean, yeah.
But what the point I was going to make is that he is over 2,000 hits. If he plays another 6-7 years, he might be a 3,000 career hit player. And he's never hit 200. He's never had 200 hits in a season. And 3,000 hits. 3,000 hits is almost a lock for the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that's crazy when you put it that way, bro. Yeah.
3,000 hits is a lock for the Hall of Fame. He's at almost 2,100 hits, and he's only 34.
Yeah. It's all about longevity and being able to stay healthy. And with the
But that's what's crazy too.
Yeah.
I mean, he's played a lot of games over the course of his career, but he also has a couple of seasons where he barely played. Like 18, he played 97 games. 2020, he played 29 games. 2022, he played 43 games. So it's like those are years that like he probably would have added another 150 hits.
Yeah.
200 hits, maybe?
He'd arguably be pushing 2,200 right now.
22, he'd be pushing 2,400. He's at 21. You add another 2, 2,300.
Yeah.
6, 7, 8 years. I mean, if he wants to play to 40, 41, 6, 7 seasons, he'd be a 3,000 hit guy who is a 2-time All-Star.
Quietly. But do you give him a Hall of Fame nod just because he's played?
If he gets 3,000 hits, I think you have to. 3,000 hits?
I think it's just a byproduct of you playing that long, bro. It's just I don't know. I don't know. Looking at his numbers, if you look at his numbers, it's just like it doesn't wow me, bro. It doesn't tell me that this is a guy that exudes greatness, like in any category at all. Like he doesn't have gold gloves. He has 2 All-Star appearances in a 15-year career. I mean, we were just talking about that with Bobby Abreu. Like, and Bobby Abreu was what, 2,500 hits? Granted, it's not 3,000. I'm not comparing the two. But
he might surpass.
And Bobby's numbers are going to be significantly better when it's all said and done, with the exception of the 3,000 hits.
Yeah, but if he gets to 3,000, you're an elite company. You know how many players...
And that might not ever happen again with all the days off that these players get.
Bro, you know how many players in Major League history have 3,000 hits or more?
How many?
3.
Okay.
That's automatic.
Yeah.
Automatic.
I'm struggling, man. I'm looking.
Let's do this.
269 lifetime batting average.
Bro, he right now he has more hits than Harmon Killebrew, Scott Rowland, Wally Joyner, Orlando Cabrera, Ray Durham, Nelson Cruz, Adrian Gonzalez, Johnny Bench. He has more hits than Johnny Bench. Andrew McCutchen, Jose Altuve, AJ Pierzynski, Carlos Delgado, Raul Ibanez. I mean, all right, forget going down. Let's go up. He's 1 hit away from tying Gary Carter. He's 4 hits away from tying Alfonso Soriano.
Yeah.
5 hits away from tying Matt Holliday. He's 14 hits away from passing Paul O'Neill.
Okay.
Joe Mauer, first ballot Hall of Famer. He's going to surpass him next year. Look, I'm not saying he's got a Hall of Fame career right now, but I think it's not.
Yeah,
it's not out of the. I think it's not out of the. It's not out of the conversation or out of. I don't think it's a wild thought to say if he adds over the next 6 years by the age of 40, if he adds, let's say, 100 hits a year, that's another 600 hits.
Mm-hmm.
That puts him at about
2,700.
2,700 hits, bro. You're at 2,700 hits. Do you know who you're in the company with? Dave Parker, Bill Buckner, Rusty Staub, Lou Gehrig, Roberto Alomar, Carlos Beltran, Chipper Jones, Tony Perez, Johnny Damon, Andre Dawson, Ken Griffey. And if he gets into the 2,800s, now you're with Pudge, Brooks Robinson, Harold Baines, Babe Ruth, Mel Ott, Omar Vizquel.
I guess what's sticking out like a sore thumb to me, which a lot of people would argue against because it doesn't matter today, is his 269 batting average. Yeah. So if he can increase that about 11 points, bro, 12 points, if he can get it to like 280, then it's looking pretty for me. It's looking nice. I would vote him in. If he can get that batting,
I'd vote him in.
I'd vote him in. if he can get that batting average up 11 to 12 points,
that's not going to happen, bro. He's too late in his career to up it 11 points. If anything, the BA is going to go. It's going to go down. If anything,
yeah. I mean, it's just.
But here's
249, 237, 250. It's mediocre, bro. It's just like, bro, you played a shit ton of years. Pardon my French, but it's like, in a way, it's like, bro.
Yeah, but bro,
when I think of Hall of Famers, I think of greatness, bro. When I think of Elvis Andrews, I don't think of greatness, bro. I'm sorry.
I know, but check this out. Let's say he gets another 53 stolen bases. He's had wheels his whole career, right? He gets another 50 stolen bases. Now you're looking at a 3,000 hit, 400 stolen base.
And that's an argument. That's a really good argument, bro. Honestly, I can't argue for a definite no if he has 3,000 hits because, like I said, 300 wins.
A lot for him to get there.
Yeah,
but I think if he gets his
3,000 hits,
he could get there.
3,000 strikeouts, 300 wins.
It doesn't help. It doesn't help that in the last 3 years he hasn't cracked 100 hits in a season, though. That hasn't helped. But if he gets back where he's putting out 100 hits a year, that's not even a lot of hits. It's not 100 hits in the next 6 years.
No, he had over 100 hits, bro. He had 84 with Oakland and 49 with Chicago.
That's not over 100 hits. I'm looking at it right now. 2023. Oh, that's why. It was breaking down 2022 into two different teams.
Yeah.
I'm looking at 84 and 49.
Yeah.
So 94, 133, 121.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, he's a lock for 120 hits a year. So he might get 700 hits if he get over the next 7 years at this pace.
At this pace, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. He got a valid argument.
And if he gets that close, he might keep going until he gets to 3,000.
Oh, wow. Reese Hoskins just signed with the Brewers for 2 years, $32 million. I can't believe Philly let him go, man.
Wow. Well, I mean, they don't have a need for him. Where's he going to play?
Yeah, that's true. Now with Bryce at first to preserve Bryce. Damn, man. That's a big loss, though, man.
Pirates showing interest in Noah Syndergaard.
It's trash.
Yeah, Noah did it to himself when he left the Mets. I've never been happier to see the downfall of a player. He talked so much shit when he left.
And then look how his career just drastically fell off, man.
That's what he gets, man. That's why you don't fucking burn bridges.
Mm-hmm. Players on next year's ballot that we could potentially talk about next time: Ichiro, CC, Dustin Pedroia, Felix Hernandez, Ian Kinsler. I don't think is a Hall of Famer. Ben Zobrist.
The first four guys you named are surefire.
Curtis Granderson, no. Troy Tulowitzki, definite no. Russell Martin, no. Brian McCann, no. Henry Ramirez, no.
Russell Martin is maybe.
Nah, bro. I don't think Russell Martin.
Why do I feel like Russell Martin? Russell Martin was that dude. I don't think he played long enough.
Yeah, but when you're that dude for 2-3 years, I mean, you can't. That doesn't make you. Russell Martin was elite. What, from 2011 to 2014? That doesn't make you. And 2 of those years with us, I feel like and I'm not going to be biased, but I feel with the Yankees in that lineup that we had from 2010 to 2012, man, we had an elite lineup.
Let's see, man. Four-time All-Star, Gold Glover, MVP votes in 3 different seasons. Where's the hits? Oh yeah, no, definitely not.
No, bro. Russell Martin.
He was excellent defensively, but
yeah,
248 career VA.
Ian Kinsler. It's like, come on, bro.
But what made him different was that he had wheels for a catcher. He had 101 stolen bases.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But
191 home runs.
Ichiro, not even discussion.
Yeah, Ichiro's first ballot.
Mm-hmm. Ichiro, CC, and Dustin Pedroia. Those 3 guys, I think they're Hall of Fame.
CC's probably not going to get in the first ballot, but he'll get in.
Bro, CC has 3,000 strikeouts.
So?
Over 200.
Do you see how these voters have voted?
Wins.
Do you see how these voters have voted?
No, I don't know, bro.
All I'm saying is I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't get him on the first. He's definitely going to get him. He should get him. I just could see him not being a first ballot guy.
I'd be very shocked if CC's not a first ballot guy, bro.
I can see that.
And I'm not even saying that because he's one of ours. I'm just simply saying he deserves to be first ballot Hall of Famer as a Yankee. But we'll see. We'll see. He's definitely gonna go into the Hall of Fame as a Yankee. I'm proud of his career. I'm glad I got to see all of it, and I'm excited, man. I truly would be shocked if he is not a first ballot Hall of Famer. If Joe Mauer was a first ballot Hall of Famer, CC Sabathia should be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
I mean,
Cleveland years, that year in Milwaukee.
Yeah, bro, but he has almost a career 4 ERA. That doesn't scream out elite. He had elite years where he was just like that Milwaukee year. I mean, I think he led the league in strikeouts in both the AL and the NL.
Yeah, that year. Mm-hmm.
That's a fucking nuts. You play half a season and lead the league,
and still, yeah,
that's nuts.
He was a dog, and he knew what he was doing. He knew he was going to get paid that year.
Yeah,
he got the bag from us. 7 years, 161, I think it was.
All right, so look at this. I mean, career 3.74 ERA. That's not elite by any means. You look at his postseason ERA, 4.28. It's not elite. That shit's gonna go against him. Plus, it doesn't help that he talked a lot of shit to a lot of media also. But he'll get in. But he's not gonna be a first ballot. If I was a betting man, I wouldn't bet that he gets in first ballot. Ichiro is definitely first ballot though.
Bro, he's 251 and 161 though.
Yeah. 50%. Great.
I don't know, bro. 38 complete games, 12 shutouts, 34,000. Sorry, not 34,000 strikeouts. 3,000, almost 3,100 strikeouts.
18th all-time in strikeouts.
Yeah, a World Series champion. A World Series.
I'm with you, bro. I'm not disagreeing that he should be in the Hall of Fame. He absolutely should. But when you look at like his ERA, you look at his playoff ERA.
He
doesn't get it on the first ballot, bro.
Yeah,
he's not a Pedro Martinez. You can't put like Pedro Martinez is the first ballot pitcher that goes into the Hall of Fame.
Well, also doesn't.
CC Sabathia isn't.
Because we can't compare CC to Pedro.
You can. They're both pitchers that are,
Well, yeah.
I
think there's just different tiers, bro. When you talk about
Pedro is elite.
Yeah,
like those are the first ballot guys. In my eyes, if you're going in on a first ballot, that's the level that you should be.
No question.
And that's why I don't think Joe Mauer should be a first ballot guy.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think Todd Helton should be a first ballot guy.
I think they're only first ballot because of who they were. Well, yeah, Mauer and Helton didn't deserve to be first ballot with the guys they were going against.
But they were also good guys who had good reputations and this and that. And that plays a huge part with these fucking writers when it shouldn't.
Oh, was he a good guy? Did he ask about how my mom is doing?
Yeah, like, dude, fuck off.
Yeah, like this group of guys in next year's ballot, the first three are first ballot, bro. The rest of that lineup is trash. No disrespect to those guys; they had good careers, but those are the guys after Dustin Pedroia are not Hall of Famers. I'm sorry.
Ichiro's first ballot. CC, I think he gets in second time around. I don't think he's a first ballot guy. Pedroia's a first ballot guy.
Mm-hmm. I'm giving Pedroia first ballot.
He's first ballot. Just what they did in Boston alone. But I mean, almost a career 300 hitter, 300 hits.
Consistency.
Him being injured like the last 4 years of his career.
Mm-hmm. What, 3 rings or 2?
2.
2 rings. 04 and 07.
Yeah.
He wasn't on that 13 team? Yes, he was. 07 and 13. No, 07, 13, and 18. right?
He was a member of the Red Sox World Series championship teams in 2007 and 2013.
He was on the team in 2018, but I think he was hurt.
You go on his page, 2-time World Series champion.
But he retired in 2019.
I'm just reading what it says, bro.
Yeah, that's weird. No, I'm not.
What's he on the roster?
I'm not arguing that. I remember he was hurt in 2018, but I don't understand. Like, I don't.
Did he play Did he play at all that season? I don't remember him playing that season.
He was transferred to the disabled list on August 4th in 2018.
Do you not get a ring for that?
He was not on the team's World Series roster.
Mm.
Wow, he did not receive.
He only played 3 games that year. Yeah,
wow.
He played 3 games in 18, 6 games in 19.
Wow, I'm surprised they did not give him a ring.
That sucks, man. They should have gave him one just for fucking.
Wow. Yeah, he did not play in the postseason, and he was not on the World Series roster, so the personnel did not give him a ring.
That's fucked up.
Wow, like a lifelong Red Sox, someone like that was a part of that run, that turning that franchise around. You guys didn't bless him with a ring. I never knew that. I assumed he had a ring from that 2018 team because he was on that team. Wow.
If you read news articles, everyone says he's a 3-time World Series champion.
Yeah.
It's only on like Baseball Reference that they call it a 2. Oh, he got a ring. They gave him one.
We did?
Yeah. Yeah, he got a ring. They gave him one.
Was he a part of the World Series parade?
I don't know if he was part of the fucking parade. I'm not looking at all that.
Oh, how did you know he got a? Okay.
Yeah, I was reading some news articles.
Good.
So, okay. Oh, he was 4-time All-Star who won 3 World Series rings, even though he was only active for 2 of the championships. He won Rookie of the Year and an MVP, 14 years, 300 career hitter, 1805, 394 doubles, 140 home runs, 922 runs scored, 138 stolen bases. And currently there are 22 Hall of Fame second basemen, and he ranks 22nd. So Ian Kinsler. Oh, Ian Kinsler was the second baseman when he was hurt for Boston in 2018. He had 9,999 hits, 1 hit away from 2,000. 416 doubles, 257 homers, 243 steals. He's actually had a better career than Pedroia. King Felix, I think he's a fucking first ballot. He's one of the greatest pitchers.
Mm-hmm.
But
a dog, bro.
But where Felix fucked up is that he played too long. Mm-hmm. He should have retired earlier. Mm-hmm. His ERA got jacked up just from those last years that he kept playing.
Yeah, that's true. He didn't have it anymore.
His career ERA is at 3.42, but if you look at if you got rid of his last few years, he's probably under a 3.
Which would be insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even that goes to show you just how dominant he was despite that 3.42.
Let's see his ERA. 267, 452, 392, 345, 249, 227, 347, 306, 304, 214, and then
oh my God,
332, 436, 55, 6.
Yeah, those last, like you said, those last 3 years significantly hurt him, man. 2017, 2018, and 2019, he got rocked.
You're looking at like another 1, 2, almost 300 runs added.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, they gave him 34 mil. Milwaukee.
Damn, dude.
2 years.
Yeah, 2 years, 34. Yep.
So, yeah, K-Rod, Felix should be a first
Yeah,
ballot.
yeah. I think King Felix is first ballot, man. He was great.
Who else? All right, Tulowitzki, no way. Zobrist, no way. Granderson, no way. Hanley was fun to watch. There's no fucking way he makes it. He had a short ass.
He had a short career. It was too hurt too often.
Yeah,
that's insane that Hanley's even on the list, and I loved Hanley.
Russell Martin, Adam Jones. Adam Jones on this list is ridiculous too.
Curtis Granderson,
Brian McCann. Why is Brian McCann here?
Curtis Granderson.
Fernando Rodney might make it at some point.
Who?
Fernando Rodney.
Because he played long enough, it's possible. That's about it. But the other
guys, he won't. If they're not putting Billy Wagner in there, they're definitely not putting fucking Fernando Rodney. Yeah. What am I talking about?
Yeah.
I'm thinking about if I was voting, I would fucking put him in. But
yeah,
if you look at, let me look at. He's been playing since 2. Yeah, no way. 3.8 ERA. Lever is actually pretty impressive over fucking 20 years.
Who?
I'm saying a 3.8 ERA as a reliever over a 20-year span is pretty good.
Yeah. It means you're shutting shit down.
Yeah. So 48 saves, 37, 48, 39. He excelled as a closer. I don't know why they didn't let him close more often. Almost 1,000 career innings pitched. 327 saves, and that's a guy who's not even a full-time fucking closer. He doesn't make it. He doesn't make it. Anyway. He's just a guy who's had a very good career for himself, but that's where it ends. Yeah, K-Rod got to get for him. But all right, man. We're gonna do one last question. It's just gonna be a quick one.
Yeah.
Let's not go on a tangent on this. The last 3.
We gotta. Yeah, it's already 11. So.
But 2024 sleeper for MLB in the upcoming season. You get one choice of a team.
Man, you put me on a spot, bro.
You get 30 seconds to choose your team and then give your explanation as to why.
Sleeper.
Wait. Let me get the timer going. Your 30 seconds starts now.
Boom. I'm gonna go with the San Diego Padres. I feel like
that's a sleeper team.
Yes, because I feel like losing Juan Soto, a lot of people are gonna assume that they're not gonna be able to compete. Didn't help they didn't make the playoffs last year. I think they're gonna shock a lot of people and be in contention to not win the NL. I don't see them winning the NL West, but I see them making a run and making the playoffs. The guys that they got in the Soto trade are gonna try to, prove the Yankees wrong and have a great season. I think it's gonna be a great year for Manny Machado.
Timer's up. How many?
One last thing. Do not be surprised they make a big splash in the free agency by getting Cody Bellinger or another big bat.
That's not going to happen. They don't have money. They had to pull a loan to fucking pay off their debts at the end of last season.
Don't be surprised. Anything's possible.
I would be surprised. They'd be the first major league team to get fucking fold in the middle of a season. Yeah. They can't pay their bills.
Yeah. I just personally think they're a sleeper because people are not going to have any high expectations for them.
That would be wild to have Fernando Tatis, to have Xander Bogaerts, Manny Machado, and still not have expectations. All right, I'm gonna.
They lost Juan Soto. They didn't make the playoffs last year, so people are probably not going to expect anything from them.
We'll see. All right, I'm gonna give my My sleeper team.
I had another one, but it's all good.
You only get one. You chose the fucking Padres, which is actually really predictable for you. The only other team I would have saw you saying is the Dodgers, and it's such a Roland thing to do.
No, if it wasn't Padres, I'm not gonna go in depth with it. It's Seattle, but go ahead.
Seattle, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. All right, 30 seconds up. I'm going with the ultimate sleeper in 2024. I'm going with the Kansas City Royals, okay? I'm going with the Kansas City Royals.
What?
They added to their starting rotation. They've added Seth Lugo. They got Jordan Lyles, okay? They've got arms, okay? They got Michael Wacha. And then we look at their team. They still have Salvador Perez. They've added Mikhail Garcia, who's awesome. Again, Vinny Pasquantino back, and they have possibly the best shortstop in baseball in Bobby Witt Jr. They're supposed to make a run. They're going to make a run. I'm calling it right here on this episode. You can laugh about it now, but if they make the playoffs, I want an apology on camera because this is recorded and it's going to be posted. Kansas City.
I definitely will apologize. I'll get you a Bobby Witt jersey if they make the playoffs.
Bet. It's on.
And Bobby Witt is a stud. Bobby Witt's a stud, by the way. No disrespect to Bobby Witt.
He is.
He's a stud.
And I forgot to add that they got Hunter Renfroe, too. They're not bad, man.
And everywhere he goes, he just quietly hits 30 home runs and goes about his business.
Yep. No one talks about it. You got Hunter Renfroe, MJ Melendez.
Love MJ.
Bro,
He's on the
Byron Blanco. Nick Prado.
Yeah.
Bobby Witt. Vinny Pasquantino's back. They got Garrett Hampson. He's got speed. You got Mikhail Garcia, great defensively. Salvador Perez.
They got a Vinny P over there.
Bro, their pitching staff, Kyle Wright. They picked up Kyle Wright, Michael Wacha, Chris Stratton, Will Smith. Everywhere Will Smith goes, that's the other one I want to say. Everywhere Will Smith goes,
it's a team that wins the World Series.
Yeah. Will Smith, Brady Singer, Cole Reagans. Cole Reagans is good. Brady Singer's a stud. Dog. I've been saying for years.
Brady Singer's a stud. I like Brady Singer a lot.
He's a dog. I wanted the Mets to draft him, and he fell. Alec Marsh, Jordan Lyles, Seth Lugo, Carlos Hernandez, Chris Bubik. Bro, they're Nick Anderson. It's
a winnable division each and every year, but for some odd reason,
it's a winnable division, and they quietly have put together a decent team. It's not a. I don't think they have an incredible team. I don't think they're super.
It's not fancy,
but I think that they have a team that can do it. I think they have a team that's quietly competitive.
Yeah.
That has young studs who can make a difference.
Are hungry.
I see them as like a D-backs team of last year. I think they can make a run, and then probably we won't see anything from them ever again. Although Arizona had better pitching than what they have, but.
Yeah, you got Zach Gallen, bro, at the top of your rotation.
You got Gallen. You have
Belt.
Merrill Kelly.
And
you have Brandon Fat.
Sorry.
So, I mean, I don't know how it's pronounced, but I just say Fat. But, you got those three guys at the top of your rotation. So, they had good pitching. Their bullpen was a little shaky.
Yeah, but their hitting was really good this year. Gurriel had a great year. Corbin Carroll,
bro,
Kansas
City, don't be surprised if they.
That was a sleeper. That was really a sleeper pick that you hit me with, bro. That was really good because AL Central is weak and it's up for grabs. It's anybody's division, but for some odd reason, Cleveland man, they always find a way to win that division, man.
They got a decent team, man. You got both Nailers on Cleveland. You have Andres Jimenez, who's obviously a stud. I mean, they've got ball players.
They always call up a new prospect that ends up being good.
But Kansas City, that's my sleeper squad.
That makes sense.
So they might be the worst team in baseball, also. So it's like you just don't know. I mean, the normal person's going to say that they'll be a last place team,
and that's what I'm. And that's like before we wrap it up, man. That's what my frustration with Major League Baseball is that a lot of those younger teams that don't get the exposure, which I think we should even talk more about those teams, man. It's like you always talk about the Yankees, you talk about the Dodgers, sometimes you talk about the Mets, you talk about the Braves, but you never talk about the Kansas Cities of the world. You never talk about the Pirates and what those other teams do. And granted, they're not as aggressive in the offseason, but they have guys coming up. The Pirates got a lot of young draft picks. A lot of
Pirates, man, the Pirates don't invest into their team. They kind of do. They half-ass it. They get guys like Carlos. What's his name?
O'Neill.
I mean,
O'Neill Cruz.
They have O'Neill Cruz, yeah. But I'm talking about at the trade deadline. They had the first baseman. What's his name?
Carlos Santana, and they got rid of him.
Carlos Santana. They flipped him, which is like that's the move that small market teams need to make. You need to get guys like Carlos Santana. Hope he has a bounce back year, and then you trade him for assets. That's how you grow a competitive franchise. I mean, it's a very simple fucking formula that no one does.
Yeah, but
at
the end of the day, you can't avoid it, man. You got to spend money, bro.
You have to.
And I'm not saying that because I'm a fan of the Yankees, but when in baseball, it's not like a regular business, man. You got to spend money to be competitive. To be consistently competitive, you just got to spend and open up that checkbook. And when you don't, then you're going to be in the dumpster. You're going to be in the cellar. So
we'll see, man. I'm Kansas City Royals, wild card team. I'm calling it.
Damn, playoff team.
I got them in the playoffs. I got them. They were my super sleeper pick.
Wow. I'm anxious for the season to start, man. Honestly, man, Valentine's Day can't come quick enough. When pitchers and catchers report, see Stro with the do-rag.
You need to take a bro. If you come down here for like a weekend or something, we'll go take a trip. Hit up all the spring training facilities.
Yeah,
got the Twins and the Red Sox down here. Yeah. Like 30 minutes away, we have the Tampa Bay Rays. Their spring training facilities out in Port Charlotte. It's like a half an hour away from us. And then we could always go across the state. I mean, it's only an hour and a half, 2 hours. And we go check out the Yankees, Cardinals, all those guys out.
Oh yeah, for sure, bro. I've only seen the outside of it when I went to the Rams and Tampa playoff game 2 years ago. Tom Brady's supposed to be last game, but the stadium looks nice, man. George Steinbrenner Field. I just never been there, so I would love to visit Port St. Lucie, Tampa. I would love to bang out all those stadiums.
Yeah, we could do it.
Yeah,
just let me know when you come down.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, bro. 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
I was hoping this episode would be like an hour, but 2.5 works.
It's all good, man. And then next episode, we'll try to cut it down some, but at least we'll have some more.
It's so hard. It's so hard talking about baseball and not going all the way in. I still have to go to the gym, man.
Yeah. Nah, get it done, bro. Do your thing, and then we can try to record another one if you want this week or whatever. I'm always down.
Cool. All right. Well, if anyone makes it this far into the episode, I hope you jotted down Kansas City Royals 2024 wildcard winner. I'm calling it.
My sleeper is
next episode.
All right, bro.
All right.
Later, bro.